Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Phoenix Wright Justice for All. I hope you're all ready to finally finish up the final case in this game. Farewell, my turnabout though. How is everybody doing? I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend. Wait, what? Wait, wasn't this from the first case? How did I get into this mess? Wait, don't tell me we just... That's far enough. You can't run forever, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Wait, but this happened before, didn't it? I hope we didn't just restart the game or whatever. I cannot allow you to go on like this. But I'm just a simple defense attorney. Silence! You are no longer worthy of your title. Now you get smacked! Ouchie, ouch. That really hurts right there. I've had this dream before, someplace some time ago. Okay, thank goodness. We didn't glitch up or anything. As if this day was written into my destiny. Today I'll stand in court as a lawyer. To prove a killer innocent. Alright, you heard him, everybody. Let's go prove somebody innocent that we're not supposed to. Oh boy. Well, we're finishing this, though. We're finishing this. Hello, this is Phoenix Wright. You don't look so well, dude. You're gonna prove me not guilty today, right? You're calling me from your phone on my phone when we're right near each other. I'm gonna hang up on ya. Oh boy. Ha, did you like my drink? I just pulled it out of thin air. If you please, Mr. Lawyer. Remember, it's not just me. Your precious friend's life is riding on today's verdict, too. Now listen up, you'd better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bag and not guilty, I'll never forgive you, ever. Maya. Phoenix. Phoenix! Mia! Oh, she's back! Maya, how's Maya? I don't know. You don't know? She hasn't tried to channel me since yesterday. Mia, what am I supposed to do? Well, like I said, for a lawyer, the worst of times are when you have to force your biggest smiles. But, you can't give up. There's still some hope left. Stop it, please. There's nothing left. Not here. Not anywhere. Is he calling me again? Oh goodness, is that a cursed on guard again? Will you leave me alone? Look, don't call me anymore, I mean it! You're really mean, pal. Gumshoe, I'm really sorry. Where are you? They let me join the investigation team and we're chasing after the killer, pal. Then you have some sort of lead? Sorry, but right now we've got 0 leads on the guy. But we're not gonna give up. Gumshoe. Until the trial is over, until the verdict is handed down, we're going to do everything we can to find the killer. If we can get Maya out, then you can get on guard the guilty verdict he deserves, pal. That's true. I could do that if they found Maya first. You got that? So you have to do whatever you can to make the trial last longer. I have to make the trial last longer? If you go at Mr. Edgeworth with everything you've got, then you too can draw it out. Oh, I'm gonna full power up right now. I believe in you, pal. You and Mr. Edgeworth can do it. So, believe in us. We're gonna give it all we've got, just like you. Got it. Thanks, Gumshoe. Hey, Phoenix. You understand now, don't you? You have something money will never be able to buy. Friendship. It's the strongest weapon in the world, and you can have it in abundance. Yeah. Looks like we're coming to the end. I have to make the trial last as long as I can. Gumshoe will come through. I know it. We know it. Let's make it happen. It's court time. We gotta make this trial last longer. I don't know how, though. It's gonna be weird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Now, as I recall, we concluded yesterday's session with a big mystery on our hands. The mystery being what exactly was Miss Adrian Andrews' role in this murder. That is to say, is she really connected to the crime itself? Mr. Edgeworth, if you will please inform the court of today's proceedings. Adrian Andrews. She forged evidence that threw suspicion onto Mr. Ungard, and then proceeded to escape the crime scene by wearing a nickel samurai costume. The guilt of these actions are those from which she cannot escape. Then you're saying that she is guilty after all. I'm not finished, Your Honor. Ms. Andrews has nothing to do with committing the actual murder. I would like to direct the court's attention to this card. What is that? It looks like a shell. This is the calling card of a certain assassin. Assassin, you say? Yes, Juan Corrida was killed by a professional assassin. And the person who hired the assassin, his client so to speak, is Matt Ungard. What a surprising turn of events! I would think it's become commonplace by now, Your Honor. I know what's going on this time, so I know that everything Edgeworth has said is true. But we still have to hold out as long as we can, at least until Maya is safe and sound. I wonder how the trial will turn out today. Well, that depends on what we do. Hello, Pixel, don't leave your child at Burger King again. Quiet, I leave him there all the time. Now then, please call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls the defendant's mentor, Mr. Will Powers, to the stand. By the way, Alex, how are you, though? Now then, witness, your name and occupation, please. Oh, okay. I'm, Will Powers. I'm a poor, underpaid action star. And what is your relation to the defendant? Well, I guess I'm sort of a lousy mentor to him in a way, yeah. Mr. Powers, please, you don't need to put yourself down so much. Oh, sorry. Well, but I'm just kind of a nothing sort of guy. On the night of the murder, you visited the defendant's room. Is this correct? Yes. I didn't know that. But you know, I didn't actually get to see Matt when I went. All you need to do is answer what you're asked. Now then, I would like you to please testify about when you went to his room. Oh, okay, sure. Alright, we gotta draw this trial out as much as we can until Maya's found. After the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his nickel samurai costume. He was talking with someone. At first I thought it was the bellboy. I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. I had guests with me that night, and I couldn't make them wait for me. Me, Maya, Pearl, and that's it. By the way, everybody, how's the audio? Audio all good with you? Nothing sounds out of place in Mr. Powers' testimony, and talking with the bellboy is no big deal. If one assumes that the person Mr. Ungard was speaking with was an ordinary bellboy, what are you implying? Hey, Alpha, welcome. Well, Mr. Wright, let's have your cross-examination, shall we? Looks like we're in another sticky situation. Huh? A trap. Can't you smell it, Phoenix? But for us to find out more, we're just gonna have to charge in head first, right? By the way, what do traps smell like anyway? Glue? Don't know. After the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. The defendant's room. Why did you go there? Well, I'm his mentor, like a big brother sort of, and I wanted to say congrats. You can't believe this is the finale? The finale. I know, Rodrigo, I can't believe this is the finale. What's wrong? Why did you stop? Mr. Wright. What is it? You're gonna try to trick me into a corner, aren't you? Huh? I know I'm just a poor, underpaid action star, but I'm not the killer. No one said you were, Mr. Powers. No, please, don't trick me. Every time you do your lawyer thing, the witness suddenly turns into the bad guy. Every time. Witness, I will personally talk to the defense at a later time. So for now, please kindly cooperate and continue with your testimony. Sorry. So you went to the room, and then... Hey, wait a minute. When and how did I suddenly turn into the bad guy here? Phoenix is the bad guy. Gotcha. Are you sure that was Matt on guard? Yeah, I'm sure. He wasn't wearing the Nickel Samurai mask then. By the way, Rodrigo, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. If that's the case, then he really can't be mistaken. And? What was the defendant doing standing in front of his own room? He was eating a sandwich. He was talking with someone. At first, I thought it was the bellboy. At first? What do you mean by that? Well, he was in a bellboyish uniform and he had a bottle of juice on a tray. Remember, everybody. Remember, tomato juice, not wine. It's not alcoholic, it's tomato juice, but that looks like an apple. Looks like apple juice. Well, he was in a bellboyish uniform and he had a bottle of juice on a tray. Sounds like an ordinary bellboy to me. Yeah, but I didn't think he was a normal bellboy. And Alpha, thank you for letting me know you're not gonna spoil the game. Just remember, no spoilers. That is a rule. Yeah, that's a rule. Why did I think that, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know what you were thinking? Sorry, but I can't remember right now. Sorry. I guess I'm gonna have to wait patiently on this one. I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. You saw the two of them, the bellboy and the defendant, together, correct? Yeah, the bellboy just wanted to say congrats. Now, while you were watching the two of them, did you notice anything strange? You know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip. A tip? But that's a perfectly normal thing to do. So how long did you watch the two of them? Not more than a minute or two, I think. He gave him a tip. He gave him money. What? That's weird. Like, I saw these people watching Pixel stream, and they gave him a tip. A tip? What's so weird about a tip? They gave him bits. I had guests with me that night, and I couldn't make them wait for me. So who are these guests you're talking about? You guys, of course. You and Maya and Little Pearl. I thought it would be really rude since I invited you guys if I disappeared on you. So I went back to my seat pretty soon after seeing Matt in the hallway. This is like squeezing water from a stone. It's probably pointless to press further. Do you remember this incident? Did Mr. Powers leave his seat that night? I don't remember that happening at all. Maya was making such a racket in her hyper state, I ended up focusing on her. I see. In any case, from his story, he probably wasn't gone for very long. After the awards... Oh, we're back here, so do I really have to find something, though? Wait, you mean I have to tip my streamers, though? Oh, I think you got something to learn, Alex. You gotta tip your streamers, and by tip them, I mean go to them, touch their feet, and then tip them like a cow. You gotta start tipping people by tipping them over. Let's see, I feel like we have to present evidence, but yet I'm not sure where to go for it. He was talking with someone. At first, he thought it was the bellboy. I feel like if I present the bellboy here, it might work though. Wow, you forgot there was that much evidence? There's so much evidence though. Let's see. No, that's not him though. Give the tip. Give the tip. Give the tip. I gotta find some sort of new pressing, because I don't know where the evidence should be presented at this time. Actually, Mr. Powers, only a few minutes ago you oh wait, I gotta press on it again. Only a few minutes ago you stated, you know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip. Could it be that you felt something strange about the tip-giving incident itself? Ah, yeah, that's it. You really know your job. Yeah, because the thing is, Phoenix said, maybe I should come back to this later. So basically, I was supposed to do this again. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor? This bellboy, he wasn't an ordinary one, was he? Perhaps we should let the witness tell us. Very well. Mr. Powers, please amend your testimony. You mean about the bellboy, right? Matt gave the bellboy a tip. So he gave the bellboy a tip. What's so strange about that? It was $1,000? Oh, well, you see, Matt's not a poor penny pitcher like me. I was trying to figure out how much it was because the tip really shocked me. How much it was. But that's when something even more surprising happened. The bellboy was putting the tip he got in his pocket, and that's when I got my first good look at the guy's face. I was really shocked. I'm afraid I don't follow at all. It sounds like Mr. Powers was surprised twice by this event. I wonder which of his shocking moments I should ask about. The face. What was so shocking about the bellboy's face, Mr. Powers? Well, he wasn't exactly a boy, more like an old gramps. I hope you know that discrimination towards old men is a no-no in my court. No. Old men discrimination is a no-no. No, that's not what I meant at all. In the smack middle of the guy's face, there was a line of stitches. A line of stitches? Yeah, and it went straight from the tippy top of his head to the bottom of his chinny chin. Almost like if that thread snapped, all the stuff in his head will come spilling out. Ah! He was there! At On Guard's house! He was that butler! What is it, Mr. Wright? Nothing, Your Honor. So that means On Guard was talking with the killer then. If that fact were to be exposed, On Guard would be declared guilty in a blink. Phoenix, you have to play dumb here. Pretend you don't know anything. Okay, yes, Chief. Me no know nothing, me lawyer, me dum-dum. You sure you don't have anything you would like to say, Mr. Wright? Huh? What did you just say, Your Honor? Nothing, Mr. Wright, nothing. We're just going around and around in circles. Now then, Mr. Powers, please continue with your testimony. I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. Wait, am I just gonna continue pressing? Are we just really delaying everything here? You saw the two of them, the bellboy and the defendant, together, correct? Yeah, the bellboy just wanted to say congrats. Now, while you were watching the two of them, did you notice anything strange? You know, I did feel something weird. We're going back to this thing again. Not more than a minute or two. You had a guess with you that night. We're gonna go back to this again, are we? I thought it'd be rude. Do I remember this incident? Do I really have to present something, though? After the award ceremony. The defendant's room. Oh, wait, maybe I should go with the tip, though. You're going to try to... Oh, he's doing this whole thing again where I'm trying to trick him and trying to make him the killer, which is true, though. Mr. Powers should be guilty. Maybe I should try going back to the... There we go, the tip. Or maybe the one before that. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out if we can choose the other option, which is the tip at all. Here we go, On Guard's tip. The defendant is a huge star. He can afford to give generous tips. Wouldn't you agree? Sure, but giving him that much was maybe a little too much, I think. A little too much? Would you please clarify for the court about how much would you say the defendant gave to the bellboy? Honestly, I don't know. I can't even begin to guess. And why is that? Because he gave the bellboy a really, really fat roll of cash. A roll of cash? Oh yeah, a roll of cash, everybody. Oh, well, how interesting. That certainly was a very generous tip, wasn't it? A very fat roll of cash. That can hardly be called a tip, Your Honor. The judge is beginning to look awfully suspicious of us. Gonna object to it. The defendant is a superstar. That kind of tip is typical fare for people like him. Are you saying that all superstars are super spenders? It's Mr. Beast. Oh no, Matt On Guard is Mr. Beast. No. He's giving away money with fat rolls of cash. If I could receive large rolls of cash by simply bringing people things on trays, then why on earth would I stand around here prosecuting? He's got a point. I don't even get paid, let alone rolls of cash for all my hard work. Can I get a fat roll of cash? Can somebody out there just give me a fat roll of cash? It's just $1 bill and like everything else is fake paper. It's like $1 bill, the rest is just paper. Oh look, a fat roll of cash. It's only $1 and fortune cookies. Great. And fortunes. Bad fortunes. So supposing that roll of cash was not a tip, then what was it? Payment, Your Honor. Payment? Isn't it obvious? For the murder of Juan Corrida. Then the bellboy the witness saw. Yes, he was the assassin. Oh no. Hold your horses now, Mr. Edgeworth. You don't have any proof of this. Do you? Have I ever been unprepared to support my claims, Your Honor? I have here the card Shelly the Killer left at the scene of the crime. Shelly the Killer? He is the person the police's special investigations team has been chasing for ages. I am certain that the person the witness saw was his very assassin, Shelly the Killer. Really? What's wrong, Mr. Powers? No, nothing. Something just clicked in my head and I think I just figured something out. Oh? Actually, I saw that bellboy again later on that night. Nani? Later that night, Mr. Powers, please testify. Tell us what you saw. Yes, sir, right away. Uh-oh. The second time. This time I was in that hallway because I had to go to the bathroom. And that's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room. Of course, when I say room, I mean Juan Corrida's room. Now that I think about it, that bellboy did seem kinda out of place. Yeah, so he had to be the assassin, I'm sure of it. I mean, do I have to say hold it to I mean? Like he just says, I mean, hold it! Why did you say that? Thank you very much, that is all we need for now. Huh? Oh, he got cut off, but I'm not done, there's still more. Let us first establish that the bellboy was truly Mr. the Killer, then we shall see. So the bellboy came out of the victim's room, and if that bellboy really was the assassin, then I think the answer is fairly obvious. The bathroom is filled with bullet bills. Joe, are you trying to say that the bathroom is really Bill Land? I don't want to go to Bill Land anymore, okay? No more Bill Land. That would be correct, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, I believe it's your turn to entertain and make us laugh. This is no laughing matter. Alright, everybody, it's time for Pixel's Clown Hour. This time I was in that hallway because I had to go to the bathroom. And what time was it? Well, I don't remember. The award ceremony ended around 8 p.m., right? And I went to Matt's room pretty soon after that, and then I came back. And then I went to the bathroom, and then I came back. So I guess maybe it was around 8:10 by that time? You're not one for details, are you, Mr. Powers? Sorry. I thought I could maybe catch Matt and say my congrats. And that's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room. No more bills, you're running out of money to pay them all? Let's see, what do I have to help you here with, Alpha? Do I have any money to give you right now? No, because oh wait, I do! I have 26 cents. Will 26 cents help out an Alpha? And if you take it now, I'll give you an extra quarter. You get 51 cents, that's all I got. Are you sure it was the same bellboy? Yeah, and how could you tell? All the bellboys wore the same uniform after all. But you see, well, he had those stitches in his face. So I'm sure it's the same guy that was talking with Matt. So which room did the bellboy come out of? I told you guys already. Juan Corrida's room. The victim's room, huh? Yeah, the one with all the really pretty flowers and teddy bears. It was Juan's room, alright. Words cannot describe how screwed I am. Let's continue with the testimony, shall we? Now that I think about it, that bellboy did seem kinda out of place. Tip it to the bellboy, Pixel? No, the 51 cents is mine. Right. Why the insipid grin? Maybe because I have no idea what damaging thing he's gonna say next? Well, the bellboy was empty-handed. Empty-handed? That bellboy was one of those room service people, right? But he wasn't pushing a cart and he wasn't holding a tray either. You'd call that a little strange too, wouldn't you? I agree that it is a bit strange, Mr. Powers. But is it really that unusual for a bellboy to be empty-handed? What should I do? Should I let Mr. Powers' testimony slide or... Let's pull a fast one. Wow, Shelly's prices are really cheap now. I know for 51 cents you can kill anybody. Give me 50 cents and I'll do my best and fail. There is nothing strange or unusual about an empty-handed bellboy, but there really is. There really isn't. We're fighting like children. If you two are done being school children... Edgeworth is just saying my words, he's saying my lines. Bellboys are for room service. There is no reason for them to be empty-handed, ever. Your Honor, I ask that the witness's previous statement to be supplanted with this new one. Edgeworth. Are you going to do whatever you can to make the bellboy look suspicious? I see, very well. This court recognizes and grants the prosecution's request. Mr. Powers, if you could amend your testimony, please. Yes, sir. I thought it was kind of strange for a bellboy to come out of her guest room empty-handed. So you're saying that it's suspicious for him to be empty-handed? Yeah, really suspicious. I mean, when I first saw that bellboy, he was holding a tray in his hand, and there was a bottle of juice and a wine glass on it. Juice? What kind of juice was it? I'm pretty sure it was tomato juice. Everybody drinks that. We don't have water here, we have tomato juice. If we can come up with some sort of reason as to why he would have come out empty-handed, some sort of proof, then I think we can dodge the bullet on this one for now. Proof, huh? Sounds like another job for the court record. Coming out empty-handed. He did drop off a juice, right? So let's see, we got the wine glass. What else do we have about juice? I'm sure there's something about juice that we love to see. Hold on a second. I think I may know. There we go. The tray's right there. We just gotta show the crime photo. There's no lava. It's tomato juice. Ew. Mr. Powers. Yes? You're easily influenced by other people's words, aren't you? As soon as you heard that the bellboy might have been the killer, you got caught up in believing it must be true. But, isn't he really suspicious? He's got all those stitches and... So, a baseball has stitches! Speaking of baseball, in the first case, Mr. Wellington really loves large bananas. Are you saying all baseballs are suspicious because they have stitches? You're not a clown, you're the whole circus. Thank you, Edgeworth. I love that line. Well, there's also... I mean, what about him being empty-handed? I would like to ask the court to please take a look at here. Look at the dead body. All the juice is inside him. This is the crime scene. There is a wine glass sitting next to Mr. Kurita's body. The liquid inside this glass is tomato juice. And now, if you will look at what is on top of the table in the lower right corner here, anyone can clearly see that my face popped out. The bellboy had just brought this to Mr. Kurita's room. He left the tray in the room, which is why he was left empty-handed when he left. But, that would mean that the bellboy had seen and left the dead body in the room. But can you prove that Mr. Kurita was already dead at the time? Mr. Edgeworth! Yes? I blame you for leading me down this route. You're so welcome, Your Honor. I'm terribly sorry. What is with him? Why is he laughing? Witness, isn't there one more thing you would like to share with us? Is there? The bellboy was empty-handed, or should I say empty-handed? I recall you had something interesting to say about his hands. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Huh? Nani? That bellboy, he was wearing gloves. Gloves? Yeah, pitch black leather ones. All the other bellboys don't wear gloves like that, right? Black leather gloves? Why didn't you mention them earlier? Sorry, it slipped my mind. Boy, does this make the bellboy look really suspicious. Alright, gotta focus. I can't get lax here. So what if he had gloves? A lot of bellboys wear gloves. Come on, Mr. Wright, that bellboy was wearing black leather ones. So, a football's made of leather? Or are you saying that all footballs are suspicious because they're made of leather? I love this case so much. I freaking love this case. It's so freaking wacky. That's right. Baseballs and footballs are suspicious, everybody. Don't play those games. No one. But that man, he received a large roll of cash from the defendant. And then he was seen leaving the crime scene wearing black leather gloves. I don't think that even someone like myself can believe he was just another bellboy. It seems that we have finally come to an understanding. Now then, witness, please continue with the rest of your testimony. The rest? Oh yes, please tell us more. Okay. Okay. Their second meeting. After leaving Juan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door, just like that. Pixel, are you saying all creepers are suspicious because they are green? No, Alex, I don't know what you're saying. What do you mean if all creepers are green because they're green? They're suspicious because they're green. They can't be. Because you want to know why? Because I'm green. Are you saying my green screen is suspicious because it's green? There we go. After leaving Juan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door just like that. He gave something to the person inside the room. Then the old guy just left without even going inside the room. After that, I went to the bathroom and then back to my seat. Oh wow, this one's a short one. So the bellboy, after leaving the crime scene, next went to the defendant's room. Yeah, I kinda saw all that by accident. Some accident? I'd say you saw too much. And all of it was suspicious to high heaven. Yeah, we're trying to delay this court until Maya's found. Right now, Matt Ongard is ready for the freaking guillotine. I think it's safe to say that we can no longer consider this bellboy to be normal. Now then, let's get started, shall we? Are you saying all screens are suspicious because they're big? No, I'm saying all Alexes are suspicious because they're gamers. Yes, Your Honor. Alright, let's see what we can find out of this. Will Powers is trying to make Matt Ongard look guilty as a fish walking on land. After meeting Juan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door just like that. Is that what you saw while you were busy spying? Excuse me? I may be a poor, underpaid action star, but even I wouldn't stoop to spying. Well, I think the point is, where did you watch all this from, Mr. Powers? Oh, from the door of the bathroom with my left eye. In a sort of sneaky spy-like, because you know I'm a sneaky spy. My name is Will Powers. I'm a sneaky spy. I just love sneaking up in bathrooms. Okay, that makes it sound really weird, doesn't it? Will Powers loves sneaking into bathrooms. Like, why? Just let me type something real quick. Just gotta type in something really quick. Not okay. Alright. I knew he was spying. Please, does it really matter if he was doing it over or underhandedly? What did the bellboy do next? That's all I care to know. He gave something to the person inside the room. I said hold it! Okay. That's better. What kind of statement is that? Please elaborate and give us a few more details. Oh, okay. I should probably ask him only one question at a time. The person inside, something, or don't ask anything. Something. He gave something to this person. Yeah, and what was this something? Huh. If I remembered what it was, I wouldn't be calling it a something, would I? But this implies that something was removed from the scene of the crime. Are you sure you really can't remember, Mr. Powers? I think it was something kinda small. This is an incredibly crucial piece of information. Please try to remember what it was. I'll try. In the meantime, let's talk of another point, namely what the bellboy did next. Oh, so after he gave the person inside the room the thing, then the old guy just left without even going into the room. I want to try asking something else. Does it matter in baseball if you throw it over or underhandedly? Kinda. The person inside. So who took the something the bellboy handed off? Actually, I don't know. Is this guy ever useful? What do you mean? I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. Only an arm? Then you're saying you didn't see the person's face. Wait, just tell me if the person was wearing a sleeve. The arm is important, right? Yeah, I would like to summarize the testimony up to this point if you don't mind. When the bellboy left the crime scene, he immediately went to the defendant's room. There he handed a small item of some sort to the person inside. As for the person who received the item, all you can see was the person's arm. Yes, it was just like that. Mr. Edgeworth, is all this really that important? Of course, Your Honor. I think this is of the utmost importance. This is when whatever was removed from the crime scene was handed over to the client. Mr. Powers, please try to remember what it was the bellboy handed off. Well, let's see. I think it was... No. If you remember, please add it to your testimony. Yes, sir. If I saw it again, I could say for sure, but I think it was some sort of wooden statue. Oh no, the wooden thinker. A wooden statue? Oh wait, you mean this? The figurine? Nani? What was the point of that pregnant pause? What? Pregnant pause? Where did that objection come from? Well, speak up. It was me, Your Honor. What is it, Phoenix? I have a feeling that something bad is gonna happen once I show this. Mr. Wright, if you have something to say, please spit it out. Yes, Your Honor. Okay, Phoenix, deep breath. Mr. Powers, there's something you saw. Was it this item? Oh, hey, that's it. That's the something. Wow, Mr. Wright, you really figured it out. I recall we found this at Matt Engarde's mansion. At the defendant's house? What does this mean? It's simple, Your Honor. Shelley the killer assassinated Juan Corrida in his room. And then he stole this wooden bear from the scene of the crime. Then the bear being found in Mr. Engarde's mansion would mean... It goes without saying, Your Honor, Matt Engarde is the killer's client. You don't know why he uses that as the adjective for that pause, but I could look it up. Pregnant pause. I mean, it could be like an 8-month wait, like an 8-month pause, like long, obviously. But the way Edgeworth said it, like, pregnant pause. Mr. Wright, this is a most unfortunate turn of events for you. Yeah. Sorry, Mia. No, it's alright. Your judgment was sound. Actually, I figured the bear would come up. If not now, then it would have later on. It's such a cute bear, though. Can I show the bear closely? Mia, quiet up. I want to see the bear. Look at this cute bear. It's such a cute bear, isn't it? I love this bear so much. Even if you had shown it to the court, I'm sure your friend Edgeworth would have. I almost forgot that he knew about it too. I think it is clear that there is no need for us to continue this trial. I can't let this happen. I have to do something. There has to be something we've overlooked. Your Honor, a minute, please. Yes, Mr. Wright? There are still a few points left that we have not fully explored. What are you trying to pull? Oh, well, we can't have that. First, Your Honor, I will save the game. Alright, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further? Powers' testimony, the person who received the bear, or the bear itself. Oh, I don't know what to do. Let's see, Mr. Powers' testimony, he said so much so far. We know about the small thing. Let's see, the person who received the bear. Phoenix is really bad at his job, smash tagline. If he were the next DLC, I wouldn't mind. Or the bear itself. The bear. I think it's fairly obvious that the bear itself is very questionable. The bear, Mr. Wright. This was found in Mr. Engarde's mansion. However, Mr. Engarde was arrested at the hotel that night. Which means that since the murder occurred, he has not had a chance to go home. Oh, I think Your Honor has already figured out what I'm trying to say. It is not possible that it was Mr. Engarde who took this bear to his mansion. Why, that's very true. We didn't consider that point, Mr. Wright. There was no way time-wise for the defendant to have taken this bear home. Whew. Disaster over... Oh, great. You haven't gotten the best of me yet, Mr. Wright. Huh? I remember it clear as day. I remember what you muttered to yourself at Engarde's mansion. We have this area completely surrounded. There is no way for him to escape. I can't believe it. That butler, all this time, he was the killer. The killer and On Guard were working together, so to speak. And the killer was hiding at On Guard Mansion as its butler. What a bold move. The bear figurine was brought back to On Guard Mansion by the killer himself. When it looked like he was about to be arrested, On Guard had him do so. Look at that. Wood on wood. Wow, I gotta say. Wait. Where are the stitches? I don't see no stitches. Is Mr. Powers lying? I see no stitches on that man's face. He has a good mustache, though. I assume because it would have been bad had the police found it during their investigation. Robo-arm. By the way, this is how Powers saw it. But Powers did say he saw the stitches. In that picture, we saw no stitches. Well, Mr. Wright, you've been quiet for a while now. This is too much. Isn't there anything I can attack at all? I have to try. I have to find something else. What will you do now, Mr. Wright? Do you plan to save? Yes, I do. Thank you, Your Honor. I plan to expose a clearly shaky place in Mr. Powers' testimony. What? There is still another one? There is indeed, Your Honor, and it's quite a questionable point. What are you trying to pull? Oh, well, we can't have that. Alright, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further? Let's see, do I plan to leave? Yes, goodbye! Let's see, I know the person who received the bear is... the testimony, I guess? Mr. Powers' testimony, of course. Huh? I know that my testimony was kind of shaky, but... Your inanity stupefies me, Mr. Wright. We have already clarified all questionable points during the cross-examination just now. Wasting time like this, calling the testimony questionable. Dude, why are you saving so much? Does the game crash often? It does not. I just love saving as a joke. Ah! I just love saving so much. It's like a thing. It's like if it's there, I'm gonna save a lot. I don't know why. It's a joke. The cross-examination went smoothly and there was nothing wrong with the testimony. Now then, please, wait. You're being very persistent today, because I can't let it end like this. I know my outburst just now was a little questionable. Questionable indeed. But there really are some questionable points left to discuss, Your Honor. What are you trying to pull? Oh, well, we can't have that. Oh, we're back here. The person who received the bear. The only option left. There was one thing in Mr. Powers' testimony that was very unclear. And that is the identity of the person who received the bear. He gave something to the person inside the room. I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. As long as we don't know who it was that took the bear, we can't be sure if... Huh? Eh? Nani? What is it, Mr. Powers? If you're gonna scream like that, then at least give us a good reason why. Oh, yeah, sorry. Actually, so, I remembered. I remembered who took the bear. What? Really? I mean, I only saw his arm, but the arm. It was the Nickel Samurai's arm, I swear it! You've gotta be kidding me! Are you sure of that, Mr. Powers? Yeah, I'm sure it was the Nickel Samurai. Phoenix comes up on your screen going, you've gotta be kidding! Phoenix Wright in a nutshell, everybody. It looks like you've dug your own grave, yet again. How many times is that today? I've lost count. So the person who took this in was the Nickel Samurai. And as we all know, Matt on Guard is the Nickel Samurai. Thanks to the defense, we've made that all the clearer. I think we've heard enough. We now know why this bear figurine was at the defendant's mansion, as well as who it was that received the bear from the assassin in his room. Everything has become very clear. The client who hired the assassin to commit the murder was Mr. Matt on Guard. I see no reason for this trial to continue, therefore I will now hand down my verdict. Thank you, Your Honor, for your understanding. You see, Mr. Wright, you could not win against the truth, could you? I knew it would turn out this way. After all, what Edgeworth has stated is the truth. Any last objections, Mr. Wright? Well, do I? What should I do? Objection! I will now announce my... There is only one way for me to drag this trial out. The only thing I have left is this one dirty trick. Your Honor, right now we have these two reasons to believe my client is the assassin's client. Reason number 1, he accepted the bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number 2, that very same figurine was found at the mansion. However, it's possible this is all the work of a certain other person. What are you saying? What I am saying is, it's possible a different person is the killer's real client. Oh goodness, are we really going this far? The real client? Yes. Is this all you have? Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your theory. Who do you say is the killer's real client and therefore the real murderer? Do I really have to say it? The only other person we could have mentioned is Adrian Andrews. Adrian Andrews? Yes, we already know that she tried to frame Matt on guard for the crime by wearing a spare samurai costume. Ugh! Then the nickel samurai's arm that I saw, that could have very well been Miss Andrews. Old bag. No, Alex, if we get the wrong answer and say it's old bag, we'll get the blaster. We can't get the blaster, you know. But what about Mr. On Guard? If you will please recall yesterday's testimony. The defendant was taking a nap during the break period. That's right. Then, finding his figure at Mr. On Guard's mansion, it was a well-laid trap set by Miss Andrews. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion on this? I can't even begin to count the flaws in the defense's logic. Besides which, there was no evidence to support it. However, I can't fully discount its possibility either. What is with this trial? Come on, anyone can tell On Guard did it? I can't believe the defense would go so far as to pin the guilt onto someone else. Yeah, unbelievable. It's not something petty, it's murder of all things. This is to save Maya. This is to save Maya. Even if the whole world turns against me, this is one fight I can't give up on. Order! All disruptive parties will be forced to leave the courtroom. Your Honor, for the benefit of the defense, I'm willing to play along with his what-if game. His what-if game, Mr. Edgeworth. Phoenix is a poopy head. Oh my goodness, not that again. The prosecution is prepared to challenge the defense's theory. Why is Dana hosting me? She can't see this stuff. She can't see this stuff. It's spoilers for her. Ew. Mr. Wright, even you must have thought it strange and wondered. Why would the criminal want this little wooden bear? He's right. The killer did specially bring that bear to On Guard right away. Why do you ask? Is there something special about it? Hey CB, welcome to the stream. What's going on with you? Absolutely. And I'm sure that once the court knows it's significant, the true killer's identity will become crystal clear. Your Honor, the prosecution calls upon a witness who will clear all doubts against Miss Andrews. And who would that be? I'm spoilers. Oh, Miss Andrews is coming back. I see. Well then, the court will take a short 10-minute recess. The prosecution will prepare its witness in that time. Yes, Your Honor. Man, how long did we drag that out? It's been almost 2 hours. All of that, and it's only been almost 2 hours. Oh, I knew it was a good idea to hold her hostage. Don't you agree, Mr. Lawyer? But I never thought in your desperation you'd try to pin the guilt onto Adrian. I swear this demon will pay. Mr. Nick! Pearls, where's Mia? I don't know. A really strong power suddenly called her away. A really strong power? Oh, my phone. Oh, Mr. Nick, your phone is... It's from Gumshoe. How was it going? Have you been hanging in there, pal? Yeah, sort of. We just barely found something to latch onto. Whew, that's good, pal. And what about you? Anything yet? Have you figured out where the killer and Maya are? We still don't have any leads, but... What? We don't have any more time! If we just had one, even a single clue would be really helpful. I was only able to come this far because I kept thinking to myself, I've got to keep the trial going until Maya's been rescued. But have I just run out of luck this time? Is all our hope for naught? A tent. Huh? A tent? I can see a circus tent. But Mia! It looks like Maya was unconscious until just a few minutes ago. As soon as she woke up, she called for me. So it was Maya that called you away. She's locked in a dusty little room right now. But I can see a circus tent outside the window about 300 feet away. Gumshoe, is there a circus in town right now? There's only one, pal. The very big circus. Maya's somewhere within a 300-foot radius of the main tent. What? Okay, hold on a sec, pal. Hey, draw a circle on that map about a 300-foot radius from the main tent. Hurry! And? I can see a mailbox under the window just outside. Gumshoe, there's also a mailbox. Okay. What else? What else, Mia? I'm sorry, but it was a very small window. I couldn't see anything else. It felt like I was in an old office building, maybe the 3rd floor or so. I heard her! An old office building, good stuff, pal! Okay, just hang in there, just a little longer, pal. Wish us luck! Good luck! I'll call you later, so don't let your battery die, okay, pal? Mia, Maya's not hurt, right? She's in a pretty bad state, Phoenix. She's being starved. Gumshoe, please hurry! Looks like we're out of time. Oh, you're right, Phoenix? It's only a matter of time before Maya's rescued. Max Galacticos! Max is gonna come out and go like this. Hi, darlings. I'm here to save you, Maya. Take this. Ooh! It did nothing. Ah, Grape Juice. Welcome to the stream. What's going on with you? I hope you've enjoyed my yelling for a bit. But man, this case is going crazy. I can do this. I just have to make this trial last a little longer. Oh, Grape Juice. I hope you're having a... Oh, you're H. You changed your name? Interesting. Well, hello, H. You see, I know how to pronounce it this time. Court will now reconvene. The killer, the man who murdered the victim, handed this to his client. From this, one obvious question arises. Why this particular item? I believe the answer to that question will provide us with the name of the real culprit. Max just used his busting cards. It's like, oh, you think the thinker was bad? Here, take the bust! Boom! And then he just pulls out a bunch of cards like, oh, pick a card, any card. I gotta pick those up later. Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manager, Adrian Andrews, to the stand. There's Pokemon cards all over my floor. Currently, the witness is accused of tampering and obstruction of justice. However, you have been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is guilty of murder. I understand. Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Ms. Andrews? Of course I have. You have seen it before. That's right. It's only natural that the witness has. Ms. Andrews, could you please enlighten the court to this bear's secrets? Alright. Why does she know? The bear figurine. Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. At its center is a small cavity with just enough room to store a small item. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. Wait, it's a puzzle box? So this figurine, it's a container of sorts, is it? Yes, looks can be deceiving, wouldn't you agree? Yes, this is superb craftsmanship. What if Winnie the Pooh was made out of wood instead of whatever he's made out of? Oh yes, I nearly forgot. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. It looks like there really was something to that bear after all. But what could it be? We gotta find out what's in the bear. Actually, this is a puzzle. A puzzle? That's right. But it looks like an ordinary figurine. Wait, the statue is clock and bear is puzzle. True enough. To people who don't know, I'm sure they would never guess that this was a puzzle. So what kind of puzzle is this exactly? If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. So you can take it apart, and how would one go about doing that? You use a hammer and you break it apart. Well, you first turn its tail to the right and then push it in. Oh, yes, I see. After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed. Oh, this is most interesting. A boy and his new toy. It's like he's 5 all over again, tampering with evidence. Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on. I think he's lost it. So what do you find after you take the puzzle apart? The judge is up there like, And how do you know about this? I know because I was the one who bought it. Huh? It was a souvenir from when a friend and I went to Switzerland. Then this was a present from you? That's right. It was a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so I thought it would be perfect for Juan. So it was a present from Ms. Andrews. Witness, let's continue with your testimony. Does anyone ever wonder how old the judge is? The judge is infinite. He never dies. If we don't know the order, we can't open the bear. So who exactly knew how to solve this puzzle? Only the two of us, Juan and myself. It was a souvenir from Switzerland, so I doubt there aren't that many people with this same bear in this country. But this looks like it can be easily broken. Especially if someone wanted to get at what's inside. Well, it is a toy, but it can never be the same again once it's been broken. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. Who else knows that this bear is actually a small container or jewelry box? I never told anyone. And as long as Juan never told anyone either, then only the two of us knew. The two of you, huh? Then of course that means Mr. Ungar didn't know, right? I think this is about all I'm going to get for now. It's a puzzle! Whoever knew that a bear can be a puzzle? Well, Mr. Wright, I think even you have come to realize... Huh? That there is only one very important fact that we uncovered, and that is this. This bear is actually a jewelry box. Now that we have agreed to this point, there is only one logical question that can come next, and that is this. What is inside this box? What's inside? My life. That's right, that's what we're gonna find out next. Witness. Yes? You are the only one who can open this. Please. She's gonna open the box with one hand. She's got one in the book and one opening the puzzle. All eyes are on Ms. Andrews now as she solves the puzzle and takes the bear apart. How do you open this? Oh, thank goodness, that only took like 30 minutes. I've opened it. Hey, look, the Tinker's a... Oh, look! In this bear is the Tinker! Who knew? It just comes full circle, right, Alex? Is this what you wanted? What is that? It looks like a note. It's a receipt for the Tinker. I don't think we need to guess at what that is, do we, Mr. Wright? It's the suicide note. The suicide note? The suicide note left by Juan Corrida's former manager, Celestin Pax. Up until now, no one knew of its whereabouts, but just as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim, Juan Corrida himself. Oh man. So it's been in the bear this whole time. It seems Celestin Pax have very beautiful handwriting. Very beautiful handwriting, wouldn't you agree, everybody? I wish I can write as neatly as Celestin Pax herself. I can clearly read that, especially the big blank spot in the middle. Like, it says, "Hello everyone, my name is Celestin Pax and I'm beautiful. Way more beautiful than Pixels by Night." How does she know my name? Celestin Pax is weird. There's also bananas and... Oh look, inside this bear is also bananas. And a baseball glove. And the Tinker. It's all the murder weapons from all the old cases. Large banana... Yes, Stevie, large bananas. And she just as beautifully signed their own name on this document. This is most definitely the note she left right before she committed suicide. This is definitely the hour to stretch. Woo, everybody, get ready to stretch. This is going to be a long stream tonight, so get up, stretch. Make sure you get your mouth stretched too for whatever you're gonna say. By the way, I hope all of you are doing alright. Man, I really need to stretch. I really needed to stretch. No one needs to know what. Nobody needs to know. Nobody needs to know about the unhealthy drink I'm drinking. Order! Witness, did you know about this? Yes, I did. I heard all about it from Juan. So she knew this whole time. When I discovered his body, I looked for the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public. But I couldn't find it anywhere, because it had already been taken by the killer. Everything is going at Mr. Edgeworth's pace. So now that the suicide note has been found, what's the next question? What is written on the note? That's right. At least that's what I would think. Now then, I believe it is only appropriate the contents of this note be made known. I can't stop you, can I? I went through so much just to get my hands on it. And I was gonna burn it for her sake. I'm deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of the note out loud, because I can't. Very well, you crybaby. Alright, no time. The judge's voice rang loud and clear through the deathly silent courtroom. In her note, Celeste Impax left to us a record of all that had happened to her. About being used, and then being thrown away by Enguarde. About being engaged to Kurita, and Enguarde's role in destroying that. And about how she decided in her despair to end it all. And that's all Miss Impax had to say. Oh man, I feel sorry for her. There is one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. Enguarde. Then, what? Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Isn't that correct, witness? Yes. On the night of the murder, Wang was going to make the contents of the note public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference. My word! Matt Enguarde values above all else his refreshing like a spring breeze image, which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. At any cost. Oh man, now we just have a suicide note in our court record. That's beautiful, isn't it? It's Enguarde's fault that woman killed herself. And this time, he even went so far as to kill someone to stop it from revealing that. How terrible. What a selfish person. I guess there are slimeball lawyers out there who will defend those creeps too. My goodness, I'm making my name worse for myself. Oh wait, did I just stop? I can stop the chattering. That is so weird. I can just stop everything just by going to my court record. This is the killer's client's goal, was to obtain the suicide note. And the only person who needed this note that badly is the defendant. Let's not forget that the beer with the note inside was found at the defendant's house. Phoenix is still a poopy head. It seems that we have come to the truth at last. The defendant's motives were entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from anyone. How am I supposed to escape from this one? Why the hesitation, Phoenix? Gumshoe hasn't called yet, so you know what you must do. I know. I have to carry on and buy him some more time. Okay, there are two deadly pieces of evidence, the figurine and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I can find a way out of the situation through one of those. The gavel's already in the judge's hands. Phoenix, hurry! The suicide note or the figurine? Which of these should I pursue? No! Please wait, Your Honor. Oh my goodness, it got loud. Oh man, look at that lawyer. He's still going at it? It's like he doesn't care that he's trying to get a killer off the hook. I think Your Honor believes that Matt Enguarde killed in order to obtain this note. Yes, that is correct. But that seems a little strange. In fact, I think there's a contradiction here. This note was hidden by Mr. Kurita until the night of the murder. If that is the case, I see that Matt on guard could have not known what was written on this note. Oh, I didn't think of that way. I didn't think of it that way, exactly, but I did think of it that way, and I thought it was rather strange. No one in their right mind would kill for a note without first knowing what it said. Order, order! You make a valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion? It was just a flash, but I think I did rather well in this one. Unfortunately. I think he believes differently. I believe a show of appreciation is in order. Huh? The defense seems to be in the love with wishing more despair upon itself. I would like to direct the court's attention to this. What is that? It is a very small video camera, Your Honor. This type of camera is commonly used as a means of spying. Spying? What the? I thought that spy camera was in my possession. Matt on guard and the victim both thought of the other as their biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find each other's weaknesses. And the victim Juan Corrida was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Matt on guard. Sheesh. Order! Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? You... Don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities. Well, sort of. Sort of is not an acceptable answer, Mr. Wright. I see you're confused, Mr. Wright. You're probably thinking, but I have the camera that was in the stuffed bear's eye. But this camera that I have is not that same one. Last night I searched the victim's house on a hunch. Using this. Gumshoe's bug sweeper. By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera. Matt on guard's fingerprints were on there. Well, Phoenix, it looks like those cameras were hidden all over the place, huh? What am I supposed to say to that evidence? I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious that Mr. On guard learned of the suicide note through this. Hold on, there's so much been going on. I need to drink a good gulp of water right now. Pixels by Night is sponsored by water. Drink it. Goodness. He was watching the victim all along. He got me good this time. I don't have anything to counter that. Hey, now what's that lawyer thinking? Mommy, is that man the bad killer guy? Shush, stop, don't look at him. The way he's sweating is just so nasty. Phoenix. Yes, Chief? Have you figured out what you're gonna do next yet? What I'm gonna do next? Does running away like a frightened child work? I know it seems like Mr. Edgeworth is very close to putting the lid on this case, but in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing. Well, what is it, Mia? There is a piece of evidence that he really should investigate. Something he should investigate? I would really hate to see the good prosecutor get scolded for not remembering to look into the item when he had the chance. Why are you speaking in riddles all of a sudden? Alright, I think this time we finally understand everything. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you? Oh boy. What is this piece of evidence that Mia's talking about? Can I figure out what it is that still needs to be looked at, or should I let it go? I think we gotta. I have an objection, Your Honor. That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright. Objection! There you go, Your Honor! The defense has no intention of letting this go so easily. You're beginning to sound desperate. That's just your imagination, Honor, because it's really true. Mr. Edgeworth, this is not like you at all. In your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing. Hey, isn't that what I just said? So you're telling me that I forgot something. You're so close, Mr. Edgeworth. But there's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence. What should it be, though? Could it be the bear? It could be the bear. The transmit. No, not the transmitter, but what can it be really, though? What is this one piece of evidence that we really should examine? I'm gonna go with the bear. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, I do believe some special examination is needed, but I think the item that should be examined is the defense's gray matter. Whoops! Mr. Wright, after the trial is over, I would like to see you in my chambers. I think there are a few things we need to discuss. Oh boy, I don't want to discuss that. It's like, what do I need to do? What is this one piece of evidence that we really need to make Edgeworth examine because he missed it, though? Oh, let's see. CB says need a hint. I mean, I can go for the hint. Just let me think while you try to give me the hint. Let's see. Nothing outright that will tell me the answer, but just a hinty hint. Let's see. There's something you should really examine about this piece of evidence, though. Can't be... We are at the end. I'm trying to think. I know we're at the end. I'm trying to figure it out. I want to finish this good. Could it be? It can't be the photo, can it? No, it can't be. And it can't be the receipt because that'll just prove that On Guard brought the stuffed bear dough. Changes the footage taken by the spy camera into radio waves and transmits the data. What could it be, though? Can I get a little hint? Yeah, I'll take the hint right now. I'm really trying to think right now, but it's like this oldies. What could it be, though? Hint. Forgery. That is really vague. Wait, you mean the note? That is... Wait, are you trying... Wait. Who knows? I mean, sure, this suicide note was found inside this bear, but this bear was in my possession until only a few moments ago. Which means... the handwriting on the suicide note has yet to be analyzed. Oh, so... as to whether this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Miss Impax or not, that has yet to be even remotely confirmed. Mr. Wright, you can't seriously be suggesting... Mr. Wright! Are you saying the suicide note is a fake? Ms. Andrews, you were the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. On Guard. Who's to say you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it into this bear? How dare you! I wasn't thinking that, though. That's crazy to think. Your Honor, the defense is indiscriminately accusing the witness again. There was no evidence linking the witness to the suicide note whatsoever. But if this is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it. What? Recall the witness's testimony concerning this figurine. The only person other than the victim who could solve the puzzle is the witness herself. Her glasses broke again. Miss Andrews, you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it so you can use it to frame Matt On Guard. I did no such thing. Poor Miss Andrews, I'm so sorry. Right, if you're going to pronounce the suicide note as a fake, then show this court some evidence to support your theory. Mr. Edgeworth, you were the one who presented this scrap of paper as evidence. That means the burden of proof lies with you, the prosecution. Ugh. That's enough, Mr. Edgeworth. Can you confirm the handwriting on the suicide note? It is as the defense stated, the handwriting has yet to be analyzed. If that's the case, it seems that yet again we have reached a point where a verdict is impossible. That's impossible! This isn't good, Phoenix. The judge is going to carry this trial over one more day. I don't think Maya will physically be able to make it another day. Is it me or is the talking really muffled though? Can you hear it clear? Like hear it? It's like really muffled. Like they're all talking, like they're all whispering in their chambers like, do you think that lawyer's a poopy head? Yes, I think he is a poopy head. Yes. Tomorrow in the papers, Phoenix Wright is poopy head confirmed. Ooh, scandalous. I didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have a choice. I request that both the prosecution and defense further investigate. Handwriting analysis my butt, that's just a lawyer trying to buy more time. Enguarde is guilty, look, any idiot can tell you that. I think we've reached the end of the line. Guilty, 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 poopy head, guilty. Guilty, 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 guilty. It's Gumshoe! What is that sound? It's Gumshoe! Hello, Gumshoe? What is with him? And what is with that sigh? Where's Maya? What happened to the killer? He got away. What? I'm sorry, pal. I really am. I don't know what to say besides I'm sorry. I wish there was some way to make it up to you. I really do. Anyway, what's going on? We found this hideout, pal. But the two of them were already gone. This is terrible. I'm going to keep looking for them, pal. Don't you worry. I just need a little more time. But don't tell me we don't. We don't have any more. Guilty, 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 guilty. Hey, Pixel Dog. Guilty, guilty, guilty. No, this is getting bad. Do you hear that? They're calling for his head. They're bringing out the guillotine. Don't use the guillotine yet. We don't need his head chopped off yet. Mr. Wright, I can't. For us to come this far and... Oh! What is it? Let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth. I can't do that. Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself? Yes, Your Honor. I'm about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after. Hold on, Your Honor. Edgeworth, catch! Okay, that has to be the best presenting ever. Edgeworth, catch! Take that! Oh wait, Maya's fine. Okay, you can chop his head off. Okay, bring out the guillotine. Guillotine, guillotine, guillotine. Chop his head, chop his head, chop his head, chop his head, I'll chop his head. Mr. Edgeworth, please, you've got to buy some more time. Court is in session. I'm sorry, Your Honor. You were saying? Mr. Wright, this is a court of law. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I am reluctant to do this. However, it appears that I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow. This time I really can't do anything. Court is now adjourned for the day. This is getting crazy. What? What? Ah! Please wait, Your Honor. Edgeworth. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time. For what purpose? We can perform the necessary tests on this piece of evidence in that time. But can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes? I believe we can, Your Honor. But wouldn't it be better if we adjourn for today and then reconvene tomorrow? 30 minutes. Please, Your Honor. Phoenix, here, take your phone back. Take that! That's all I'm asking for. Wait. Imagine a hot potato game, but every time you throw it at somebody, it's take that, take that, take that, take that, take that, take that. It's just hot potato, take that right there. Please, Your Honor. Very well. Hello, Bulk. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing alright. At the prosecution's request, the court will now take a 30-minute recess, but be advised that I will not allow another recess today. I'm not sure if this is helping or hurting us. The court will now take its final recess of the day. Oh my goodness. This is insane. Right, well, what's going on with my situation? The killer, it looks like he got away again. 30 minutes? We can't find her in that time. Ugh. Wait, or did we? Report! Is that Mr. Edgeworth? We don't have time, just spit it out. Right. It looks like we just missed him, sir. But the killer left a few things behind by accident in his rush to get away. A few things? Can we use any of them as evidence? I thought you asked, pal. I've got the things he left with me right now and on my way over. Really? That's odd. Any items like that are usually sent to the crime lab first. We don't have time to wait for those guys, sir. When those guys weren't looking, I swiped the stuff and ran. What? Well, I'm not a detective anymore, so I'm a thief. I'm really sorry, sir, but I've got to push the law on hold for now. Sounds bad. I hope he doesn't get in too much trouble over this. With my hunk of junk car, I'd say I'll be there in about 20 minutes, sir. Don't worry, I'll be there. Wait for me. All right, just get here in one piece. I'm on a mission and no one can stop me now, sir. No one. I'm pulling out all the stops and running every red light. Are you sure about that? Items left by the murderer, huh? Maybe there's something among them that will be decisive enough to end this. Did he crash into the courtroom? Hey, what's wrong, Detective Gumshoe? Answer me! No one can stop me. Are you an idiot? Please don't tell me he freaking died. What happened? It sounded like he had an accident. I'm guessing his cell phone broke as well. What was he thinking? We've got to hurry and call for help. But we have no idea where he is. His cell phone is broken and he wasn't driving a patrol car, so no radio either. Also, if we don't get to those items before they do, the police will take possession of them. No, we can't let that happen. Well, if there is a way we can find out where he is, then we stand a chance. Why? Oh, why did Gumshoe have to get into an accident now? Is there any way to find out exactly where he is at this moment? I'm gonna say there's probably a way. That's right, there is a way. What, how? I'm sure we can find out where Detective Gumshoe is through this. Let's see, what can we use to find out Gumshoe though? Oh, let's see, there has to be one thing we can use to figure him out. We're not using the badge. Wait. The radio transceiver? Do we have the stuffed bear? We're not using the stuffed bear either. I want to find the right evidence this time. I want to use the right evidence and we're not using a bear. I don't want to see Edgeworth running through the city with a bear. Actually, I kind of want to see that now. Somebody running through the city with a bear. Yes, the suicide note. That's what we'll use. Smell the suicide note. Yeah, I'm gonna need a hint. I'm gonna use the radio transceiver. Mine's just the transceiver. Is that the right thing or is it something else? The knife. That's right. We will stab Gumshoe with the knife, and if he says ow. Wait, not something. Someone. Huh, through this person is what Phoenix should have said. Wait. Oh! Franziska! Why are you bringing up Franziska at a time like the beeper, the tracker? Oh, I see. I'll try to get in contact with her. The chances are slim, but she's all we have. The tracker! She has a tracker on him! The tomato juice, yes! Franziska, will she even want to help us? Edgeworth, what is it? I don't have any right to judge anyone ever again. I know my client is guilty, but what I'm doing now, I'm pinning the guilt onto someone totally innocent and using the evidence to do so. It might be my turn to say, defense attorney Phoenix Wright chooses death. Right. It doesn't suit someone like you to cry useless tears, whether you did your job well or not. That can only be seen after the verdict has been decided. The verdict? Is Edgeworth here? Yes, bailiff? There was a phone call for you, sir. They said it was extremely urgent. They're probably finished with the handwriting analysis. I have to go take this call. In the meantime, think hard about what it is you must do. To be continued! We're finishing this tonight. We are finishing this tonight, everybody. We gotta find out what happens. Goodness. We're going back to court. This court is gonna be done tonight. Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth? It's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgeworth? It looks like something unexpected just happened to him. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please tell us the court the results of the handwriting analysis on Ms. Impact's suicide note. Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that this suicide note is a forgery. It's a fake? What? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This note was not written by Ms. Impact herself. It's a fake. I was not expecting that. Order. Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? If this was not written by Ms. Impact, then who wrote it? We would need more time to do a more detailed analysis. However, it appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida. Man, every time it says to be continued, you have to do the JoJo Bizarre's Adventure thing. Mr. Corrida? Well, it looks like Ms. Impact never left a note after all. She never wrote anything about On Guard. However, Your Honor, even though the suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. On Guard could have not known that, and so that facts remain unchanged. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it. That does sound very plausible. This theory that On Guard had no idea that the suicide note was fake. Something seems a little wrong with it. Let's see, something seems a little wrong with it. Do we have evidence for it, or do we back down? Let's see. That was the worst version of Roundabout I've ever heard. I'm sorry I'm not full of instruments in my own body. Sure, let me just bring out all the instruments out, alright? Now we can play something. I have something. I got something! The defense believes that the theory the prosecution has stated contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, then that is impossible for Mr. Ungar to have not known the... Wow. Hold on, I've been talking so much that I'm like mixing up my words. Then it's impossible for Mr. Ungar to have not known it was a fake. I'm gonna try the photo. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, your response? I believe that even more important than finding out if this note is real or not is whether the attorney's badge pinned to that man's chest is real. That is the million-dollar question. Yes, I agree. Great. That was not it. My mistake. I thought we could just match... Okay, I think I got... Let's see. The defense believes that the theory the prosecution has stated contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, then it's impossible for him to know it was a fake. To not have known it was a fake, though. But how else? Suicide note wrote... Was the suicide note hidden? It was impossible to figure out it was a fake. Did you know... I don't think we should give hints anymore because we're at the very end, though. Did you know that a sloth can double as a contrabass? Huh. My Krona badge. Let's see. It was impossible for Mr. Ungar to have not known it was a fake. Thanks to... I feel like I should present the note again. But the thing is, how would he know about the bear? Nope, it was not the bear. I feel like at some point, let's see, something was wrong with it. The theory is, The badge looks like a cronut though. Can I present the note again? Nope, I really don't know what to present. If we do have something, I don't know what it is. The theory the prosecution has stated contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, then it's impossible for Mr. Ungard to have not known it was a fake. A person? If it was a person, it can't be a person though. Think, Pixel, think. I gotta think. It was impossible for him to not know it was a fake. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm really trying right now. Found by deceased. The suicide report? No, it's not the suicide report. Something seems a little wrong with it. I'm trying to think right now. My sloth brain is not that big. Think about their rivalry with each other. Their rivalry. Do 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 do. Let's see. It was impossible for Mr. Ungard to not have known it was a fake. But what could it be though? I literally have no idea what it is though. I'm trying to figure it out. It can't be the suicide report because I just tried that out though. What could it be though? H? What's with all the H's going on here? Can anyone just tell me what the heck's all the H is? You want to tell me, but you can't because nobody wants to tell me anything anymore. I'm trying to think right now, but what could it be? This is a really tough one, though. Okay, I get it. Okay, let me try to think a little more. Let me try to think a little more, though. Let's see. It can't be the photo, not the... Could it be the picture card, though? Throughout everything we've known so far, maybe the camera? What is this little item called again? Oh, so it was a camera. A video camera, Your Honor. Well, a very small one, but I was trying to think because it was like, there's so many things I could use, but apparently, yeah, the video camera was my next one. That's right, a camera. You kids and your fancy toys nowadays. Mr. Edgeworth, earlier you claimed that Mr. Ungard knew of the existence of this note because he was spying on the victim, isn't that right? If that were true, then this means Mr. Ungard would have known. Oh, that's the reason why. He would have known it was a forgery if he watched it. So then, the defendant knew the suicide note was a fake. And if that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way. Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory as to what Mr. Ungard's motive for murder was, it has suddenly disappeared into thin air. But Your Honor, it's not as Mr. Ungard monitored Mr. Kurita 24 hours a day. Back in my day, we recorded our videos on husk of corn when I was a young lad. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. Ungard did not know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Right back at ya, yeah. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place? Ugh. Look at those pupils shake, everybody. Like, that is some HD pupil shaking right there. Order! Mr. Edgeworth. It looks like this time, it has you who has dug his own grave. Ugh. As I figured. Huh? As you figured? As I figured, it came down to this after all. Mr. Edgeworth, you are not making any sense. When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. Unguard's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle. Well, I agree with you there. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time. Oh, well, that's fine. However, this witness is a little unusual. More unusual than a parrot? Edgeworth stuttering? This is not like him at all. Unusual? Well, what sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth? This witness is one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the questions of who was it that hired Shelly the Killer to commit murder? That's impossible. Who wouldn't no such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty. Old bag or oldest bag? Yes, Mr. Edgeworth, who is this witness? It's yes, go on, who is it? The man himself. Shelly the... Wait, oh, Mrs. the Killer. Nani? What, Shelly the Killer? You mean the killer? I mean the assassin. How the heck did he get in contact with him? He's coming here, to the witness stand. Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission. Well, Mr. Wright? Yes? Is this alright with you? Do I have a choice here? I can't really do much to drag this trial out. The defense has no objections, Your Honor. I wonder if it really is alright to do this. Very well then, the prosecution calls its witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there no other way left to us? Oh yes, the killer. Let's talk to the killer. Now then, witness. Your name and your occupation, please. You gotta be freaking kidding me. We're talking to a radio? And I thought the parrot was ridiculous. Very good, sir. My name is Shelly the Killer, and I'm a professional assassin. I say, what is going on here? Your Honor, how can you remain so calm, and what is the meaning of this two-way radio? Oh no, not Commander Tartar! He's gonna blend all the octolings! Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. the Killer would testify to this court. So this must be what the urgent phone call he got earlier was about. Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure this is really Mr. the Killer himself. Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are, in fact, Shelly the Killer. I understand. Please wait a second. Maya, I'm so hungry. Maya! Maya! A voice! Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything from this? The defense has no objections to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelly the Killer. It looks like we have run into yet another unexpected turn of events. Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so... Now then, witness. There is one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what would that be? At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Corrida. Is this correct? It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Corrida. Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well. This is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it, a bad dream. Shelly the Killer. What is he going to say? About the client. Oh boy. There is something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. That was it? Huh. Mr. the Killer seems to be a very clever man. I'd almost say he seems to be mocking us. Really? While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. the Killer is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief. You mean about this trust between his client and himself thing? Huh. It seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness? Yes, Your Honor. There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collect the Phoenix. I'll try. Why do I always get the nutcase? I could have been a civil court judge. I hate my life so much. Oh, the judge doesn't hate his life. He's there every time. He's in every case. Now to drink this Snapple to the judge for being a judge to all these nutcases. Hear, hear. And today's real fact. 191. Popcorn was invented by the American Indians. Thanks to them, we got popcorn. There is something I must first state. We can hear anything you have to say later. Can you please just tell us your client? I don't think you understand your place, Mr. Attorney. I said this is something I must first state. Do you know what the word first means? Sorry. Go on. Well, it appears this is one witness you can't badger, Mr. Wright. That's only because you don't know about my situation. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. The trust between you and your client. I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome. And that is why you're testifying in this manner. This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the killer name so my clients can trust me. But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust? It has never happened before, but if it ever did, yes, that person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly... That's enough, please, no more. Very well, it was only a hypothetical anyway. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them. It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside the prescribed role. The screw in his eye, the gauge is his monocle, and there's a split down the middle. Their role. Oh wow, you're right. That's actually pretty cool that the transceiver looks like Shelly the Killer himself. This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves, and this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? To the gentleman who spoke just now. Excuse me, but would you care to die? No, I didn't say anything. The judge had better watch himself. Poor judgy. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. We understand, so please tell us the name of your client. I'm afraid I cannot do that. I still have a few things to say before I do. That egomaniacal. It is not good for your health to be so aggravated. You won't live very long if you let everything bother you. Somehow, that coming from an assassin makes it less than comforting. I don't really care about all this extra fluff, just tell us the name already. Patience, try to calm down a little. It's important to try and understand his mindset. Pixel, would you care to die? He seems very steadfast and close, so you're gonna have to work to get him to talk. I'm not his therapist, you know. So wait, did he just say nothing is more important than the trust? And he just said that the client broke the rule. So, the trust between you and your client. I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. Hey, Phoenix, welcome to the stream. What's going on? These are the roles and duties an assassin and his client are to carry out. I'm sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. Ah, there we go. We came back to it. You said that your client had already broken the rules. A person who frames another is the worst kind of human. And that's why you feel you can betray this person? I have no trust relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role. Just my luck. An assassin with a conscience. Who would have figured? Now then, everyone, do you think you can understand my logic? This case just keeps getting better and better. If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed. Everyone understands your point, I think. Really? In that case, I believe I'm prepared to disclose the information you seek. You have made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And that is the real reason I'm here today on this witness stand. And now then, I do believe it's about time I revealed the name of my client, don't you agree? What is it? Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. If you can't ask it, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness. What is the name of your client who requested the murder of Mr. Juan Corrida? That person's name is... Adrian Andrews. Whoa! Witness! That's not who you told me it was earlier! Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, and it is Adrian Andrews. Nani? Oh no. This can't be! On the phone earlier! What's going on here? My guess is that Mr. the Killer just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back. Stabbed Edgeworth in the back? I'm sure in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. the Killer told him a different name. Matt on guard, perhaps. I knew it. This is outrageous! I was deceived! This witness is telling a very serious lie. But you were the one who summoned this witness. You, Shelly the Killer! My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is Matt on guard. Am I correct? All I wish to do is help procure his acquittal. Wow. All of a sudden it feels like we can actually win this. Yeah. But we don't! The prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided the suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility the defendant himself knew it was a fake. But most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself, the name of his client. Mr. the Killer's client who requested the murder was not the defendant at all. No. With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that this means that Mr. On Guard is innocent. I seem to have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please continue your discussion and call me when you have reached a verdict. Bailiff, please bring Miss Adrian Andrews in immediately. What now? If the way this is going, On Guard will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Yeah, but Edgeworth is right. The killer is lying. And On Guard, my client, I know he's guilty. Can I just live with myself if I win this? Who would have believed that the prosecution's own witness would have absolved the defendant? Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shelly the Killer is certainly lying under oath. The judge looks creepy when the camera zooms out? What? It wasn't me. Listen, everyone, please. That testimony just now, it was all one big lie. Ms. Andrews, the suicide note may have been a fake, but that man, Matt, he's the reason Celeste died. And Juan's death, it was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. That testimony just now, you have to believe me, it was a horrible, horrible lie. But Mr. the Killer himself has testified. He has named you as his client. No, that's not true. Also, there is quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife and button, donning the nickel samurai costume. But that's... You even have a motive. We know that Miss Celeste Impacts was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reasons to want them both dead. No. Mr. Wright! You know the truth. Tell them! Tell them the real story, who the real killer is. Tell them! Please, help me. I'm a horrible person. Yes, I know the truth. Mr. Wright, yes, Your Honor. I believe we have reached the end of this trial. Therefore, as the defense for any final words or opinions, I have to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? What am I supposed to do? We have to, we gotta continue. Phoenix, I can't do it, Mia. I can't accept the not guilty. You are a lawyer. I know. But Matt Engarde is a killer. A murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I'm no better than Engarde. And even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that it is because of Edgeworth that I now know the real truth. He could have gotten Engarde convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust? I never thought about it until now. I trust him? Yes, you do. Mr. Wright, your opinion, please. The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. the Killer. Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright? Right. But that witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job here is done. I'm not done yet. To see through witnesses' lies and find the truth. That is my job, Your Honor. There's still more evidence to look at. And I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur. Very well, the trial will continue. After I save. Mr. Edgeworth, please re-establish connection with Mr. the Killer. Right away, Your Honor. Wait, how can Mia read your mind, Phoenix? She's that good. Has a verdict been reached? Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more. About? All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else could you need me for? Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are, usually done. What are you talking about? Usually done? But what shall we have him testify about now? Mr. the Killer, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail. You legal people and your procedures. Is it any wonder no one likes to go to court? Yeah. As I've already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime. While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene, Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Corrida was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. Wait, no she didn't. She didn't already know he was dead. Remember back then? This is the most unexpected turn of events for the 5th time now? World record! However, this time everything has been finally revealed. Just a second, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? We still have the cross-examination to do. But you don't need a question testimony like this. Do you, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, the defense will question the witness. As if I have a choice here. Huh? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case. If you scrutinize the testimony, then I'll expose the lies in that oh-so-beneficial testimony, I suppose. I don't understand what's going on anymore. That makes 2 of us. Wait, I have one idea so far. Back then, we already knew that Adrian Andrews knew that he was not dead at first. Because remember, back then, she made him a glass of juice. Will this work though? I saved. Let's try it. Holy heck, it worked. Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mrs. the Killer. What is the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that Juan Corrida had been murdered. But how? How do you know that? That's right, everybody. It's big brain time. From this wine glass, Your Honor. The glass. Remember, she poured him a glass of juice. Mr. the Killer's supposed client thought Mr. Corrida had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim. But isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan? That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would have never left their fingerprints behind. I see your point. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion? Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? Isn't it a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail? It's not a very important point anyway, correct? You just realized I missed some very good pressing statements? I mean, we can go back there. I saved before. Let's go check him out anyway. What is it, Mr. Wright? If I press him the wrong way, it might raise suspicions on his end. But I have to do something to waste more time. Witness, about requesting a hit. Yes? How much is your fee? Oh my goodness. I see you are also quite a dark-hearted man, Mr. Attorney. Huh? If you would like to talk business, we can do so after the trial. Ah! No, I'm not thinking of... Mr. Wright! Yes? You want to kill me? You want me dead, don't you? Nani? Why would you think something like that? Your Honor, guilty! Mr. Phoenix Wright, you are hereby declared guilty! Witness, let's continue. Why did you disclose the name of your client? They are your client, are they not? Judgy! Okay. I'm glad we got back to that. I'm glad we came back to that. That was beautiful. Seeing the judge freak out like that was hilarious. Guilty! And game over, that's it. I would think that most people wouldn't be able to overlook a person hiring another to kill. If I had a problem with such a thing, I wouldn't be very effective at my job. Yeah, well, a change in occupation might be good for you. However, I will say this. Even though I am the one that does the deed, my clients are always the real guilty party. That goes without saying, Mr. the Killer. And their fate is to live with the knowledge of their guilt on their shoulders. However, my client this time thought that they could run away from their guilt. My client did it to frame another for the crime. Are you talking about the button and the knife? Yes, and my business card. Oh, this card. So that no one has to waste their time, including the police. I'm guilty, 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 guilty. Is this the face of someone who's guilty? Yes, it is. I always make it a point to make things as easy as possible. You try to make things easy. My business card makes it very easy to identify who carried out the service. He's pretty devoted to his work, and my pixels believe I'm guilty. You all make me sad. But to disregard everything, to go and stab the deceased with a knife, and even hide my card from sight, that is something I cannot overlook. It's really hard to tell if he's being truthful or not without him being here. While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene. Alright, now we'll present the juice now. Guilty of being a sloth. How can you prove that, Stevie? Do you have your evidence? What is the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that Juan Carita had been murdered. Guilty of being adorable. But how? How do you know that? Oh, we already know there's a glass, and then she came in, poured him a glass of juice. Here, hold this knife. Is that an ASDF movie reference, Alex? Really? Quoting ASDF movie? Why not talk about Mind Turtle? Shows various clips from the past streams of me saying I'm a sloth. That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would have never left their fingerprints behind. I see your point, Mr. Edgeworth. Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? Isn't it a waste of time to ask about such minor detail? Oh, I was trying to drink the glass with the freaking cap on. I wasn't looking. It's not a very important point anyway, correct? Oh no, I'm stealing a heart. What am I, the Phantom Thief now? You never saw it coming, heart. I'm afraid you're mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client, as you claim, then your client should have had knowledge of Mr. Kurita's death. Stretch number 2, everybody. Get ready to stretch. More stretching time, everybody. Cut your arms off like I'm doing right now. You see, you can't see my hand or my arm. It's all cut off. I hope you're all having a wonderful stream so far. Just keep on enjoying. We're getting to the good parts. I believe we are. The creator is making a card game? Interesting. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all. That's right, Radio. What do you gotta say to that? How strange. Guilty for trying to drink tea without opening the bottle. Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation? Guilty of good cardio. Ha! Cardio. Phoenix, if the killer figures out what we're up to, we're in real trouble. Yeah, I know. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised. You know you can't say things like that without evidence. Ah, sorry. Well, that was an awfully weak objection for the two of you. Anyway, I'm positive there was a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken. Very well. Right now, I have to buy us more time. Oh, let's see. Pixel, did you see that Hat in Time is finally getting a Switch release? I did see that, CV, I did. That's good. It's gonna make some good sales on the Switch, that's for sure. While we wait for the items the killer left behind to get here. Such a good game, such a good game. I just know that the very outcome of this trial lies with those items. Request taking! Let's request a taking! This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the award ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. This is what occurred. I trust my memory and I believe I've made no mistakes. So you physically met your client, huh? Pixels. Oh, Pixel, are you gonna change my Switch? No, my Switch is pretty good. No. Oh, I took my Switch out by mistake, but my Switch is pretty good. I forgot. I'm playing on the Switch. Oops. Come on, come back to us. Come back to us. Come back to us. Come back to us. Ah, why did I do that? I forgot I was playing on the Switch for a second. My brain just left my head for a second there. I am playing on the Switch. I'm not changing my Switch. I mostly play it docked. I don't play undocked a lot, so I'm not gonna change it. Guilty of breaking immersion. But yeah, I play it docked a lot, so I don't see a reason why to change it at this time. I do know that GameStop's having a good deal on it, so if you trade your Switch in for $200, they're also giving you $25 extra. So if you're trying to get the new model, all you gotta do is pay $75. But my Switch is great. No problems with this thing. Guilty for turning off your Switch. I didn't turn it off. What are you talking about? Oh, Dragon Quest 11. When the demo comes out, I'll try it out. Even though I beat the game before. Oh. That is correct. Meeting one client is the first step to building trust in my opinion. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Sorry about that, everybody. Sorry for breaking the immersion. I broke everything. I broke the game. I broke the stream. I broke every single thing. This request came to me, about a week ago. 1 week ago, are you sure? Yes, I am quite sure. I, of course, had my own preparations, and I was barely able to finish. When you request my services, Mr. Attorney, I hope you will keep that in mind. Please, stop. In any case, my client this time had a very specific date and time in mind. A specific date and time? Let's see, but I heard as you bought a Switch after the 17th of July, you can change it for free. I can't do that because my Switch is a launch Switch. It's from launch. The first day. It was a request for my services on the night of the award ceremony. You was gonna get Dragon Quest 11 on PS4. I'm gonna say this. Get Dragon Quest XI on Switch. It has a lot of new additions. I will replay the game again just for those additions, though. It is truly the definitive version. Did you ask why on that specific night? No. I tried to fulfill all the conditions of my client's request. But as for why, I only had my suspicions. You're suspicious, huh? So what are these suspicions you had? Why did your client request that night? Oh wait, why would you have to change it? Let's see. The reason to change it is because the newer model has a bigger battery life. It has a new processor, so the battery doesn't drain as quickly. So for instance, if you were to play Breath of the Wild, on the old Switch it will be 2.5 hours. On the new Switch, if you play undocked, it will be 5.5 hours. It's that much of a difference for those games. I would like you to retrieve that item for me. You must be talking about this bear puzzle. Inside that figurine was a suicide note. Naturally, the victim brought it with him to his hotel room. It's not like a new Switch, it's basically like a Switch version 2, but that's what they're gonna sell now instead of the old Switch once all the old Switches are sold. So if you want to make sure you're getting the newer model, make sure that the box is completely red. Cause you know the old box has like the hand with the Switch and everything? The new box is like 70% red. It was like a really red box. That's the newer model. That is correct. And if I had not done the job that night, I would not have known where that bear figurine was. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? Not really. What the killer said sounds plausible, but in the end, it's just his conjecture. No, Your Honor. I don't think it's very important. Well then, witness, please continue. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That's the first time I've heard of it. So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right? Of course I did. What was that? What was that brief pause? Hold on, what was that? Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details. I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I have never taken a request by telephone or mail. Oh, can I write a mail and say, please kill Pixel at 2 days from now, and the mail just gets there a week later, like... And why is that? That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eye. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? That sounds important. Of course, it was very important, Your Honor. If Mr. the Killer had met his client before the murder, then it's unlikely he is mistaken. So you're saying that his client really was Adrian Andrews? I guess so. You see, it's just as I said. Ugh! I'm so lost. Who the heck am I supposed to be helping here? Calm down, Phoenix. Think carefully and relax. Now then, would the witness please continue? Wait, what if I chose the other option? If it wasn't important. So let's press further, but choose the other option instead. Because right now, if we chose it was very important, it would just assume that yes, it was Adrian Andrews. Why he meets his clients is not important, and that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions. What do you mean by that? My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person? I have already told you, Mr. Wright, I did. It was only through talking with him face to face that He messed up! That's when I thought I can trust this person as a client. It's true. Is no one else gonna say anything? Did he just assume her gender? Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? Yes. If I heard what I think I heard just now, then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of the utmost importance. Oh, really? If that's the case, witness, please include the statement just now in your testimony. Very well. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. I would like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at a bar and took the request at that time. Yes, that is correct. And that's when you thought he was trustworthy. How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct. I'm sorry, but that is an impossible tale. What? Shelly the Killer. You have never met the real Adrian Andrews. Why would you say that? Because you made one very big slip up about her. So what is the issue? Oh, what did you say just now? About her? If you had never met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you that she is a woman. Oh! Did I see the new person? What new person? Order in the court, Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? The radio broke! This witness testified to the following, that he always meets face-to-face with his clients when taking their request. But he has never met Adrian Andrews in person. Yes, Your Honor, that is exactly the point. That means Mr. the Killer's client could have not been Miss Adrian Andrews. Ew! Ew! Look at this! That's so much oil! That is really disgusting, though. It's like all over the floors. It's like it's a flood of oil everywhere. Like everybody's being drowned in oil right now. The killer is now a profile. Oh, he is. John Doe or Shelly the Killer. It's like this. His face. Look at his face. It zooms in like I keep going back to home, sorry. Oh, that's disgusting. Ew. Mr. Redruff, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake? I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor. Her name? Yes, Adrian Andrews is, without a doubt, a very androgynous name. Yes, I see. Unluckily for Mr. the Killer, the entire time he was on the stand, no one has stated Adrian Andrews' gender. And so he simply picked the wrong gender to go with. What? What is going on? Alex, no. Stop that. Shelly the Killer. This court demands an explanation. I think somehow I must have mixed up this client with another. So does that mean you remember something different now? Yes, of course. Please, if you would allow me to testify once more. And I know he's just gonna spit out more lies. Very well, but this time please give us the truth and nothing but the truth. Oil? Okay, I got your oil right here, everybody. Oh, thanks for the oil, everybody. Yes, now I remember. I take that request by mail. There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. The request was for the murder of Juan Corrida and 2 or 3 other small things. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man. So you took this job through a letter. He didn't mention anything about a letter in his earlier testimony, which means he is definitely lying. Be careful, be careful. I almost called him Snapple. There's so many Pokemon cards on the floor that I threw earlier. It's a mess in here. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us. I know, I can't make him suspicious, but I think we're okay, like, we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me, no matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it. Now then, let's begin the cross-examination. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun, isn't it, everybody? Yes, now I remember, I took that request by mail. Be careful, Snapple. But didn't you just say that you always meet your clients? Yes, I suppose I did say that. However, there are some clients for whom a meeting is simply not possible. But didn't you meet your client this time? No, I did not. Oh, come on, let's stop with this game of cat and mouse. Using your silkiest voice is not gonna work on me. Please? Alright then, just cough it up and confess. Mr. Wright, you can't badger a witness with such harsh words. You're a lawyer, so behave like one and present evidence instead of mindlessly yelling. Now then, do you have any proof that Mr. Killer met with his client? I don't. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I don't have any proof because I don't think I do. Then your line of questioning was just another waste of time. Sad for you! There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. Phoenix Snapple Refreshing Attorney, Phoenix Snapple Oil Attorney, Phoenix Snapple Ace Attorney. Be careful not to extract your switch again. No promises. Recently, I have been receiving more requests. If I met each and every client, I will lose some nice business opportunities. Nice business opportunities? On top of which, the times have changed. It is now the age of information and computers, correct? Well, I have joined the times and now take requests via electronic mail. Electronic mail? Do you have to mail that in a special insulated envelope? I'm very sorry. It's like, what does he use? AOL? Hotmail? He does something. Hold on, I got a big old message. What is it about? Oh, it's just something silly. It is not the oil stream. Stop it. What I meant by electronic mail is what is commonly referred to as email. Email? In a contest of mimicry, the judge will be the parrot, hands down. Anyway, so you took this job without having met your client, and the request was for the murder of Juan Corrida and 2 or 3 other small things. 2 or 3 other small things? Yes. And what were these other things? A few other things that have nothing to do with this case. What should I do? Should I let him slide with that? It'd be really bad if I pushed his buttons the wrong way and I broke them. Let's push the buttons, everybody. Let's push those buttons. Whether or not they're related to this case is for the court to decide. Mr. Attorney. Yes? Everything I have said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client. Which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Could it be that you are planning to betray your own client? Is he steaming? That's... I smell the stench of a backstabber. And should you turn out to be one... Wait! Uh-oh. This is looking really bad. I shouldn't press my luck. Alright, I have to think. Is this worth pursuing? Sure, why not? Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your clients requested were. If it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine. The bear figurine? After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing. And where was that figurine? It was inside Mr. Corrida's suitcase. And then, what did you do next? I handed it over to my client right away. You gave it to your client? Interesting. This information certainly sounds important to me. Witness, please include what you just stated in your testimony. As you wish. One of these was to find the bear figurine and give it to Adrian Andrews. I found this figurine at Mr. Unguard's mansion. If you gave it to Miss Andrews, then what was it doing there? I was waiting for her there. That was also part of the plan to frame Mr. Unguard, I'm sure. That makes a lot of sense. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any problems with this piece of testimony? Yes. So the killer says he gave the figurine to Miss Andrews, but I know somewhere in that statement there is a contradiction. And yet, I know that if I present something trivial here, he will cut the connection on his end. If you want to make a strong point, Phoenix, you have to present strong evidence. She's right. So what now, Dr. Wright? I feel like we should try, though. Witness, let's go over this one more time. You gave Miss Andrews the bear figurine, and she told you to take the bear and wait for her at On-Guard Mansion. Is that correct? You like to think the killer sounds like Snape. I'm sorry, if I try to voice act for this long, my throat will be shot. Which is why I'm only doing my voice. Yes, where are you going with this? Well, I think maybe you might have remembered a few things incorrectly. What? This is a battle of wits. I can't let up on him. I don't think it is possible for Miss Andrews to have been the recipient of this bear. Because there's a suicide note in there. She was looking for it. So of course that she wouldn't just ask for it. I'm gonna try the suicide note. Shelly the Killer. If you had really given the bear to Miss Andrews, she would have burnt the note. Then this item should have not been inside it. That would also be the thing. She would have burnt the note right away if she had it. This item? I see where you're going. Yep, that's where I'm going. Where's everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase? Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony. And I was going to burn it for her sake. If even for a single minute, this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hand, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it. Ooh, yeah. Order, order. So that's where you two were going. So by the very fact that the suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells us that your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle. Which means... It means, Your Honor, that it's impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client. Oh! He keeps breaking up again. Breaking up. Breaking up, 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 breaking up. Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm sure I mentioned this before, how I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement. No, that's enough. If that's your intention, then there's only one thing for me to do. Wait, please. Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to. No, please, not that. Please wait. Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end and I may stay my hand. Otherwise... What in the... Mr. Wright, are you... Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. I didn't understand this witness's outburst just now. Do you think there is a need to hear more testimony, or is this enough? Well, we should... Edgeworth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, Maya, she'll... The prosecution, What has come over everyone? Even you are. The prosecution... Rest. What is going on around here? The prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor. What? Oh man, well I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stand. If that is the case, then even though I am reluctant, I must believe that Mr. the Killer's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelly the Killer's client is Adrian Andrews. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? If I end the trial here right now, then your client, Madame Guard, would be declared innocent, and in his place, Adrian Andrews would be charged with murder. Ms. Andrews would be charged with murder? The prosecution has no further questions, so we will now hear the defense's final remarks. Bailiff, please bring the defendant, Madame Guard, to the stand. The items from the killer's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out. I can't believe it. The outcome now lies in your hands. Oh. Dude, did the old guy finally decide? To be honest, I can't think of you as a truly innocent and good person. You have done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But, at least on the charge of murder, it would appear you are innocent. Huh. Wait, what is he doing? So, I guess even the old fuddy-duddy figured me out. Mr. On Guard? What an atrocious lawyer I have, giving his own client up like this. And that refreshing like a spring breeze crap is just as atrocious, don't you agree? Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Right, Mr. Lawyer? Oh, goodness. Why? Should I side with justice, or should I save Maya's life? You better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay? But if I did that, Maya will die. But if I say he's innocent, then Ms. Andrews will be charged as a murderer. Do I say he's guilty? Not guilty? Either choice I make, someone's life is gonna end. Oh goodness, that's red. It all hinges on what I choose. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statement on this matter. If the person who hired the assassin was Adrian Andrews, then your client, Mr. Matt on Guard, is innocent. There's no need to ask, old man. If there's an important choice, I'm gonna save just in case. After all, my lawyer is going to say what I want, aren't you? Right. I can't do this, but I have to decide something. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. My client, Matt on Guard, is... Oh. Do we really have to choose? He's... Oh, goodness. I don't want to think of... I don't want Maya to die. That's the thing. Guilty. Guilty. He's guilty. We are waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Matt on Guard, your client deserves an answer. Maya. I'm sorry. Matt on Guard is... Oh!
Objection!
Franziska von Karma! She's here! Ah! You see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off that scruffy fool. Did you bring them? The final pieces, do you have them? You should know better than to ask that, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Von Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence is here in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy. He's fine, and his injuries are minor. All of the items are inside this. What a filthy old coat this is. That's Gumshoes. I can spot his tattered rags anywhere. I apologize for its ugliness, but there was nothing else to wrap the items in. Oh my goodness, when Phoenix did that whole "My I'm sorry" thing, I started tearing up a bit. Oh my goodness. I almost started crying for a bit. I fought long and hard this whole trial. All for what is inside that raggedy coat. I'm sure that inside that coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat are the defense's final pieces of evidence. Your final evidence? Here we go. This trial is already over. All that remains is for me to hand down my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence presented now would change the outcome of this trial. What? Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence down to the last. I request that Ms. Von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence. I suppose you are right, Mr. Edgeworth. I grant permission to do so. However, this one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, then they will not be accepted by this court. Now, Ms. Von Karma, if you please. These pieces of evidence are items left by the killer during his escape from the police. He must have been in quite a rush. Yes, Your Honor. The killer left 3 pieces of evidence. Somewhere among the evidence we're about to see, there will be something that will turn this whole situation around. Like a miracle. I'm sure of it. That is all we can hope for. The first item is a pistol. Does the killer pistol have anything to do with this case? Yeah, let's get more details. Does that pistol have any relation to this case? We have yet to perform a ballistics test, so I can't say anything for certain. However, I believe it has something to do with this case, at least with me. Oh, that was the pistol she got shot with. That's the pistol that he used to shoot you, isn't it? That's what I believe, yes. Oh. I kept the bullet they removed from my shoulder as a sort of a memento. I'm sure it will be an excellent sample for the test. So that's the pistol that was used to shoot Franziska. It's probably not gonna help us very much. Goodness. The second piece of evidence is this videotape. I bet the killer took that from On Guard Mansion. Have you checked the contents of that tape? Unfortunately, there was no time to. Oh yeah, but I would speculate that this tape is very important. Why would you say that? Because he came back to his hideout for it. The killer went back for it? That's right, it looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site. Holy heck! But somehow, it looks like they managed to protect it from the killer. Surely the killer is no ordinary man. The killer injured 3 officers. The last piece of evidence is this bellboy's uniform. Is that a uniform from the Gatewater Hotel? Did he kill the regular bellboy though? I killed the old bellboy for this costume. Was that used during the crime? I am almost certain it was. There's even a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets. There's no doubt about it, the killer was wearing this on the night of the murder. There was one thing I found interesting about this uniform. And what is that? There's a button missing on this uniform. A button? It's a very unique button. I'm sure if we were to recover it, it would prove us with an interesting clue. One of the special buttons is missing. That is all I have to present, Your Honor. It's just as I thought. And what is that, Your Honor? I'm sure were we under normal circumstances, these items from Shelly the Killer's hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing, it is who is the client. Yes, that is correct. And these 3 items do not tell us anything about that. Thank you for your hard work, Miss Von Karma. You may step down now. Wait, Your Honor. Please allow me to examine this new evidence. Overruled. This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict. Wonderful, absolutely splendid. This judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he? Is this the end? Phoenix, I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make that miracle happen. You've come this far. You can't give up now. But no matter how you think about it, it's... Try, for my sake. Just think about it for a second. Let's try. There are 2 ways out of this situation for us. 2? The first. Make On Guard wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. Huh? The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If On Guard himself wishes to be convicted, then he will let his hostages go. That may be true, but that's asking me to do the impossible. The second way. Force the killer to end his contract with On Guard. If the killer were to no longer think of On Guard as his client, then he will let Maya go. Mia, that's even more impossible. He's a man who values his duty towards his client above all else. I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first, but if he can make either one happen, it would truly be a miracle. The bigger problem is, the judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence. The pieces he was shown, he's not accepting them. Furnish, just know that was the bot that got you out. That was the bot who did it. I did nothing. The bot caught you for something. Think things through from the other side. Isn't that what has always worked for us? The other side? Wait, does she mean... You mean to turn things around? Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it? The person who needs the evidence. The defense, prosecution, and the judge. We have seen all the pieces of evidence. And that is how we have come to know the truth. But there is one person who has yet to see them all, and that person does not know the truth. That truth, it may be what will bring about the miracle in the end. Phoenix, it was the bot, not Twitch. It was the bot. There are no objections this time, correct? No, then I will now pronounce my verdict. Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids? Oh boy, here we go. I've already told you, Mr. Wright. This court does not need any more evidence. I am not saying it is us that needs the evidence, Your Honor. Then, you want to show the evidence to that person? Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor, Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I will grant you one chance. One chance? Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person. That's impossible to turn the situation around in one try. One try. That is all I will permit. I have to try to remember everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix. Think. There must be a way to save mine while taking On Guard down at the same time. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time. Who would you like to show this evidence to? Not her. Not her. Not him. Not her. Not him. Not him. Not her. Dead. No. 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 I think we have to show Shelly the... Oh, so we have to show him! I think we have to show Shelly. We have to tell him to not to get the contract gone from Matt On Guard. He has to know the truth. I'm gonna choose him. I see. And now, tell this court one piece of evidence you would like to show this person. Oh. One piece of evidence? Out of everything here? It has to... It has... Let's see. Tape, pistol, uniform. The badge. Why would I show the badge? Are you crazy? I think the videotape is because the killer hasn't seen it. It has everything he needs to see on it. Here we go. Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? I think there is some merit in showing this evidence to that witness. Bailiff, please bring in the transceiver from earlier. Alright, it looks like I managed to convince him. Wait, did I only have one shot? Wait, did I only have one shot? Like, if I fail this, that's it? What? That can't be. Maya, she's okay, right? Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence. Yes, one is all I need. I have here a videotape. It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back. That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. There's a bad ending to this? I saved earlier, so we can go back to it if you like. I was told to protect that videotape. I thought so. I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard. Do you know the contents of this tape? I was sternly told by my client to not watch it, so I have absolutely no idea. Actually, you were on this tape. Me? There was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. And the colored bear. Your actions were being recorded. What? Is that true, Mr. Wright? Who was it that planted the camera? Well, the only person who could have placed the camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally. That was Adrian Andrews. Be quiet and listen, Your Honor. Your Honor, you shut up! Please. Yes, sir. Your client specified a place and time for you, isn't that right? Yes. That was so they could film you. I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why. Why did Matt on guard film the crime scene? The reason why he did that is my ticket out of this whole mess. There's only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. They didn't trust your skills. It's blackmail. Easily blackmail. Your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you and this is what they said. But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone. Least of all assassins. Oh, come on, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I want. Spilled too much brandy right there. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that, Shelly the Killer? It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning. Yes, by a natural. That is the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks in plots of how to use the people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. That is the true nature of your client. I have one question for the witness. Yes? You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said that you detest traitors most of all. Yes, that's right. But what if that traitor was your own client? What would you do then? That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then, that client would become my next target. Ooh, Matt's gonna get it! For the honor of the Killer name, even if it takes an eternity, I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment. I see. That's all I wanted to know. So the traitor becomes the killer's next target? I get it! This is how we'll turn this case around! Mr. Wright. Yes? My contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your precious item. What the? I'm not an item! Maya, I thought I'd never see you again. Oh, thank goodness! Pixel must be crying tears of joy right now. This trial appears to have come to its conclusion. However, I don't quite know what just happened there with the client and the witness. Ah! Miss Von Karma, where did that... She always has you in her sights. Now, I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict. Oh, he is not in good spirits now, Mr. On Guard. It looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You will finally receive the acquittal you wanted so badly. You should be happy. But before that, I would like to make one final statement. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watched this video. Help me! Now then, Your Honor, the verdict, if you please. Is this alright with you, Mr. Wright? We have finally reached the end of a very long battle. Whether he's convicted or acquitted, there's no escape for him now. Go on, Phoenix. Plead whichever way your heart tells you. Right, Chief. Guilty, he's in jail for life, and the killer's gonna get him. Not guilty, the killer's gonna get him real quick. Imagine he gets not guilty and he comes out. Let's make it miserable for him. He deserves it, right, everybody? Matt on guard deserves to be not guilty. Yay! Congratulations, Mr. Matt on guard. Please make sure to savor every moment of what little time you have left. Your Honor, as always, the defense pleads not guilty. Very well. This court finds the defendant Matt on guard. Please wait. What's the matter? If I get a not guilty, I'll be killed. No! Guilty! Oh my! He scratched the heck out of his face! Oh! Oh, no! As always, it looks like we have uncovered the real truth. I don't remember you helping out much in this. Mr. Edgeworth, how is Matt on guard? I have left Miss Von Karma in charge of his incarceration. I'm sure he's getting a full course meal of whip leather right about now. Very good. That was a very close one, wasn't it, witness? Yes. I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor. The first time I was called to the witness stand during this trial, all I felt was despair. She must be talking about the time Edgeworth really went after her. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did. This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me. But after that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's the first time I really saw myself for who I am. And today, when the two of you used your combined strength to convince Matt, I felt like I have finally been saved. Smile! She's smiling now! Wow, this is the first time I've ever seen her smile. I'm really happy that you two were in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. You so heckin' precious when you smile. This is the first time I felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Thank you so much, everyone. Yes, my heart feels so warm right now. It looks like we've resolved everything at last. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about, but everyone seems to be in good spirits, and that is good enough for me. That is all. This court is adjourned. We did it, everybody. We did it. It took 7 hours of court. 7 hours of court. You were great out there, Phoenix. What I did out there was right, wasn't it? This is the first time you've not gotten your client off. You got them a guilty verdict this time. But you have to look past all of that to what's really important. You now realize that there is something more than just getting a not guilty, right? Yes, I understand now. Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moments before Miss Von Karma arrived with the final pieces of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. Should I side with justice, or should I save Maya's life? My client, Matt on guard, is he guilty, or is he not guilty? Those were your choices then, and your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you. Right. Edgeworth, I have good news. Maya is now safe in police custody. Really? Pearls, you're telling us the truth, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Man, she broke that connection quick, though. She heard Maya and she was like, "Move out of the way, Mia! My cousin's safe!" Yes, she's quite safe. She's on her way here as we speak in a patrol car. Ah, Mr. Maya, she's safe! You did it, you really did it, Mr. Nick! Ow, she punches deceptively hard for a kid. I believed in you. I kept saying to myself, Mr. Nick will save her. Mr. Nick will save her. Oh. Thanks. Oh, what's wrong? Miss Von Karma. About earlier. Thanks. Ah! Why are you still smiling, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You lost! Your perfect win record has now been crushed! And yet, you are still happy? I don't think you'll ever understand, Miss Von Karma. How dare you? Don't worry. She may in time. After all, I was like that myself until a year ago. Edgeworth. For my own personal victories and for guilty verdicts. I used every dirty trick in the book, and so my win record remains spotless. But a man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me. I fought him in my usual manner and tasted my first defeat. I felt like I had lost everything because of that. And then it was my turn to sit in the defendant's chair. And I was saved by that person I called my enemy. I couldn't forgive myself for all that had happened, so I left the office. And I left that note. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. As well you should have. A prosecutor who has shamed himself with defeat should crawl into a hole and die. But that was not what happened. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change. What foolish nonsense. We prosecutors use everything we can to attack the defendant, but every time we did so, no matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong with his undying fate. And then, before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well. What? You trusted your enemy? It doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses, the truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing we can do is to fight with the knowledge we hold and everything we have. Erasing the paradoxes one by one. It's never easy. We claw and scratch for every inch. But we will always eventually reach that one single truth. This I promise you. The truth. Yes, that's the reason why prosecutors and defense attorneys exist. But I'm sure you knew that already, didn't you, Wright? That's why you couldn't forgive me. This man who went into hiding. Isn't that right? This man who only had his sights set on victory, who ran away into the night. Is Mr. Edgeworth right, Mr. Nick? It's not time to stretch until the bots say so. You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in things you said to me. All those years ago. Pixel, you have a random question. Do you stop streaming at to be continued? Only on different things though. If it's a Tuesday or Thursday, yes. If it's a Saturday or Sunday, I'll go longer. It's because on work nights I have to stop early. That's why 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that the Miles Edgeworth I knew had died. At least, that's what I told myself. He's got a big mouth for a kid, what? You pathetic fool! Miss Von Karma? I don't want to hear the wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser. A Von Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect. Miles Edgeworth, you are no longer worthy. You are no longer worthy of being a Von Karma. And neither am I. It's over. It's all over! Franziska threw something on the ground just now. This is a receiver. Isn't that the thing she used to track Gumshoe? I'll return this to the precinct later. There's something else. She threw her whip on the floor? I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she's saying by this action. You should keep this, right? Okay? Nick! She's back! Maya! Mystic Maya! Snip, snip, snap! She's back, everybody! Oh, Nick, I knew you would come through! My eyes are getting really blurry right now. You got on guard convicted like I knew you would. And on top of that, you even rescued me. Well, of course I did. You know I would never desert you. But we sure pressed our luck this trial. You're really lucky to be standing here. Whatever. Look, it's over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I would just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost through Pearly. Is it really that easy to do something like that? Thanks a lot, Nick. Don't mention it. Maya. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm relieved you're alright. Hey, it looks like you've made some real progress, Mr. Edgeworth. Well, I suppose I'm a little different from who I was a year ago. Was that a dog growling? Alright. I think it's time we got out of this depressing place. Oh, where are we going? Food, Nick, food! Grub, chow, I'm starved! I'm so hungry, even you look like a nice juicy burger on a bun to me, Nick. You think I look like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least. Phoenix knows his worth. Come with us, Mr. Edgeworth, please. If you insist. Alright, so how about we hit up our usual burger joint? Don't be silly, Nick. Huh? This case messed up that awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. So I've decided that we can make it up by having another feast. Another feast? And then Maya eats Phoenix. With burgers. The end. Come on, Nick. Food! We're gonna go back to the Gatewater Hotel and eat all that stale food. It's been like there for a week now. I'm sure the food is still good, right? The lobster still looks alright. Gumshoe! His hair is sticking out. Did they put the bandage all over his hair and then the hair just ripped through the bandage? Hey, pal, sorry to keep you guys waiting. Gumshoe, are you alright? He looks really different without the coat. Like, he needs the coat on. He is not Gumshoe without the coat. I didn't think I would hit a telephone pole of whole thing. Out of everything he would hit, he hit a telephone pole. A telephone pole. Then it wasn't a red light that got him? You did it again, city boy. I felt like my dear old heart was gonna give out on me, and I ain't joking. Yeah, it was more exciting than the very last episode of the Steel Samurai. Thanks. Now look at here, Mr. Snooty Prosecutor. Don't you reckon you're bullying Mr. Wright too hard? If you don't start being a lot nicer to him, he might just kick it. Tonight even. I'll keep that in mind. She talks a lot of much. Stop talking to Miles like that. You're gonna get your picture taken by a genuine professional photographer. Looks like Lotta bought herself a new camera. Well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. He still has that pen thing on his ear. Rodrigo, you know that every time you know the pen is stuck in his head. It's been stuck in his head his whole life. He can't take it out. Amen to that, pal. Amen. You know, when you think about it, you were the one who saved the day, detective. Huh, me? You really think so? He's right. If it wasn't for the 3 items you took, I think this trial would have... Okay, low battery, I get it. Way to ruin an evening, everybody. We're trying to eat stale food. Gotta get the charger and everything. I get it. Low battery, low battery. There we go. There, it's plugged in. It's charging, it's charging. I think the trial would have had a very different ending. Oh, well, you know, it's... Oh. Huh? Wait. That's odd. When I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. What? 4? Yeah, I'm sure I put one of the items in my coat pocket. There was a 4th item? There we go. Oh, come on, y'all. It's over. But woo boy, I tell you, you really are something else. Between getting accused of murder and getting kidnapped, never a dull moment with you, huh? You think? Why does she look so happy about that? In this whole game, she was accused of murder and got kidnapped. And Maya got the worst of it. She had dangerous things happening to her in 2 of the 4 cases. Half of the game was about Maya, in a bad way. Oh, and Pearl said 2 days. It's been 2 days. She said she was there for 2 days, so basically that food is old though. Weren't you scared? Yeah, it was really scary. I felt so hopeless. So to keep my mind off things, I drew a picture. Sounds like you had it rough, gal. So where's this picture of yours? Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see Mystic Maya's picture. Hold on, I got a message on my Twitter. You know, I don't know where it went. Huh. Ooh. Sounds good. I'm talking to the creator of my animated intro for my YouTube videos, and she says that the work in progress will fully be done by Monday. The work in progress will be done by the end of Monday, and then she can fully color it, and then hopefully by the end of this month, the fully animated intro will be done, and I can show it in every video. Oh, that's too bad. Well, it's alright. It wasn't anything important anyway. So, looking forward to it. It sure is nice to finally see them both smiling again. Is Fawn... What's with the beeping now? What is it, Edgeworth? This thing is picking something up. Ah, that's Miss Vaughn's Karma's receiver. Oh, thanks to her, I had the most awful experience of my life, sir. I can't believe she stuck a tracking device on me. But where? Even though you're standing right here, the tracking device seems to be in a different location. Oh, it's probably busted or something, sir. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm afraid it's about time for me to excuse myself. I still have some work to do. Huh? But Mr. Edgeworth, you haven't even eaten anything yet. And you've eaten way too much, you glutton. I had fun tonight. Now if you'll excuse me. Wait, what? I just want to say, thanks, Edgeworth. You really saved me out there. If anyone should be saying thanks, it should be me, right? I feel like words alone aren't enough here. I wonder if there's anything I can give him to express how I feel. This whip? What's this? Thank you. It's all thanks to you two. You and her. You don't need to thank me. I was only doing my job. It looks like Mr. Edgeworth has left, Mr. Nick. Hey, Mystic Maya? Yes, Pearly? I guess you two can go back to being lovey-dovey, right? You and Mr. Nick, I mean. Pearly, would you cut it out already? You're embarrassing me. Anyway, so who's paying for this lovely dinner party? As if you need to ask. Everyone say thank you to Nick. Huh? Oh, yeah, I'm kinda at the point where I can't even buy instant noodles, pal. So I kinda already put your name on the bill. Huh? Yeah, I got me a situation just like that myself. There's this camera shop in this hotel, see? And I just bought myself this good old beauty here. It better be anyhow for $3,000. Actually, I reckon you bought it for me since it's on your tab and all. Isn't this great, Mr. Nick? Yeah, Nick. Why do I suddenly feel like screaming? Oh, you don't need to hold back now you're here. Yeah, pal, time to let it all out. This is going to be the first time I hear the real you. Go on, it's been a while since I heard you say it. I've been busy being a hostage and all. Alright then, if you say so. Objection! Oh goodness, we did it! We beat it! You really came through for me, Nick. I had to hide that letter, but I knew you'd find it. I really feel like I've been living on the edge lately. I mean, I've escaped death 3 times now. Pretty cool, huh? I feel like a pro. Oh, goodness. If you're trying to swear, the bot blocks you for that. It doesn't block you, it just deletes your messages. You're not blocked, you just got your messages deleted. I'm so happy that you could save Mystic Mine, Mr. Nick. And I'm so happy for the 2 of you. Oh, Pixel Dog's leaving before we see the bad ending? I sort of made reservations for the 2 of you, just in case. He was putting dot thinking it was a link. Oh yeah, if you put 2 words together with a dot, it thinks it's a link and it takes that away too. Well, pal, looks like I'm back in the force again. Mr. Edgeworth had a long talk with the chief, and he got me reinstated for my link. Sake. I heard he said things like, letting that one go is bad for all of society. I knew it. Crashing headlong into everything is the only way to live, pal. So, if you type like that... If you type it like a link, and also no swearing too. I'm Maggie Bird and retiring this uniform as of today, sir. I'm gonna be a waitress from now on. And bring smiles and joys to the people who come by to the restaurant, sir. I hope you'll stop by sometime, Mr. Wright. She's gonna work at a restaurant now? But okay. If she feels happy with that, though. Yes. Are you here to visit a patient? I'm Director Hardy. Oh ho. Recently, yes, that girl you know. I haven't seen her around. Yes. But I remember if I even laid so much as an eye on her, it would go crack. It didn't matter if I got whipped though. Yes. Oh. This guy is very weird. I hope we never see him again. It's Max! It's time to begin our quest of World Circus domination, sweetie. And to let the world know we are serious, I plan to make a fabulous flight to Zimbabwe. Hey Max, what do you think Zimbabwe is like? Do you think there are castles made of cake and bunnies who can talk? I think if there are any talking bunnies, even they won't laugh at most jokes. But yeah, this game has been a heck and a half, I gotta say. I'm ready. There's no way these jokes are gonna fall on deaf ears. I'm gonna be more contemporary with my humor. Mo Curls represent. We've got a new act all worked out. Prepare for the Hallelujah chorus. Say something, will ya? You're supposed to start this off. Get on with it. Do, do, do. What's this? Drat, it's just an ordinary electric razor recharging on its stand. I can't believe this, really. How long did he plan on making me do this? But it's Edgy Poo's idea, so that means it must have a deep hidden meaning. But why do I get the feeling they wouldn't forget about me, would they? It was never like this in the old days. Everyone thought the world of me. They used to call me Queen Wendy, and they treat me like royalty. And any man has something to feel the pain in my heel. He's gonna feel the burn. And speaking of burn, playing with fire is very dangerous because of that. 3 of the warehouses where they started, the scenery will burn right down and everything. Oh goodness. That was a lot to talk about, but will we see Old Bag again? I don't know. The blaster happened. I appreciate everything you and Mr. Edgeworth did for me from the bottom of my heart. Oh, that's right, I received a letter from Miss Von Karma. She said that after I get out, I should feel free to console her about anything at all. I'm really thankful to have met everyone. I should get a pixel blaster, just a sloth with a blaster, right? That should be an emote. It has become difficult for me in this country as of late. As such, I will take a short leave of absence. If you would like to request my services, please be sure to visit my homepage. May we both be blessed with longevity. He broke for good. This radio will now self-destruct right now. What? I should get a pixel to delete this emote. 9:42 p.m. at the International Departures Gate 12. Where are you going, Franziska? How did you know I was here? With this? That's... I heard you were planning things on a certain person. Things like tracking devices in his coat, for example. Wait, did she take the coat? That's just like you. I only planted it there because he was always wearing it. This filthy drab coat of his. I don't know how it ended up in my luggage. Aw, Franziska's gonna miss him. She has it because she's gonna miss Scruffy. Aw. Alex, if you wanna buy the killer's services, go to his homepage. But it's going in the trash, I promise you that. Oh, that's right. Speaking of that man, he told me something very interesting. When I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. 4 things? It seems he put the last one in his coat pocket. He put it in here? It doesn't matter anymore. The case is already over. What are you gonna do now? That's none of your business. Are you running away? Shut up! You don't understand a thing. You can't possibly understand what it means to be Manfred von Karma's daughter. Franziska. So many expectations from everyone around me. Expectations I must fulfill. I'm expected to win no matter what. And failure? Such a thing is not an option for me. My father was a genius. There's no doubt about it, but... me, I'm no genius. I've always known that. But I had to be one. I had to. You may not be a genius like your father, but you are a prosecutor. You have been and always will be. No, I'm not. Not anymore. I've even thrown my whip away. Speaking of that, Wright gave me this to hold on to. How did I get through security with this? Right. You knew something like this would happen, didn't you? I'm going to say this again. We prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope you will think deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip. You haven't changed a bit. You've always left me alone and walked on ahead without me. Miles Edgeworth, I've always hated you. And then, finally, my chance to take my revenge on you arrived. If I could win against that man, if I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat, then this girl you left behind would have risen higher than you. That was supposed to be my revenge. I'm pretty sure if you didn't give the whip, this wouldn't happen. Thank goodness I friggin' chose it then. I see. You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am. I can't throw away everything I've been until today. I believe you can. Just like how Adrian Andrews did. Adrian Andrews? You were going to use her during the trial, right? But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics. Isn't that right? Today, you chased after me, after I had left you behind all these years. And that's why we're standing here now, side by side. But I have no intention of stopping. If you say you are going to quit your walk down the prosecutor's path, then this is where we part ways, Franziska von Karma. I'm Franziska von Karma. Don't think I'm gonna walk in your shadow forever. Our battle begins now, so you had better prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth. Take this tissue. Phoenix Wright, one day, someday, I'm sure we'll meet again in battle. Until then, this last piece of evidence that never made it to you, I'll take good care of this fourth piece, so I can give it to you when at last we meet again. Wait, is that Maya's drawing? Oh, that's so cute. That's a beautiful drawing. That's it. We did it. We beat it. I can't believe it. That was insane. Alright, so let's go for that bad ending we've heard so much about. Alright, let's go for that bad ending and see what happens if we chose the wrong stuff. But that was such a lovely drawing though. Alright, we just have to get to those 2 parts and then we're good. Alright, let's do it. Alright, let's do it. I have already told you, Mr. Wright. This court does not need any more evidence. I am not saying it is us that needs the evidence, Your Honor. Then, you want to show the evidence to that person? Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I will grant you 1 chance. 1 chance? Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person. That's impossible to turn the situation around in 1 try. 1 try, that is all I will permit. I have to try to remember everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix, think. There must be a way to save Maya while taking On Guard down at the same time. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time. Who would you like to show evidence to? To Maya. I see. And now, tell this court 1 piece of evidence you would like to show this person. Maya. Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? I don't have anything to say to this. How about you, Miss Von Karma? Well, I was just shot, so I'm afraid I cannot allow the defense to continue. What? No one understands what you're talking about anymore. Wait, please, 1 more That's enough, Mr. Wright. I will now state my verdict. This court finds the defendant, Matt On Guard, not guilty. We won, everybody. Yay. That is all. This court is adjourned. And just like that, the case came to an end. I ran away from the courtroom and wandered the streets alone. No, I never saw Maya again. No! The killer is a man of his word, so I'm sure he released her as promised. I heard the verdict of Miss Andrews' trial a few days ago. She was found guilty, of course. The miracle never happened. Maybe it was never meant to. Because a miracle is something that doesn't exist. No! Good thing that was not the canon ending, right? Holy heck, good thing that was not the canon ending. But good thing we beat it with the right ending. So next time, in the near future, we'll start with Trials and Tribulations, everybody. The last game of this trilogy. We beat the Ace Attorney. We beat the Justice for All. Next time, whoever knows when I'm going to stream more Ace Attorney. I'm going to take a small break from the series. But next time we do, we're going on with Trials and Tribulations. Until next time, everybody, thank you all for coming to the stream. I hope you all had a good time. I'm glad we went with today so I can get more time streaming. But yeah, let's see what happens next time, everybody. I hope you enjoyed what you did. Thanks to everybody who participated, chatted, watched, whatever. You all are appreciated a lot. Alright, everybody. Until next time, I'll be streaming tomorrow Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, adios.